Lone says, I should return home when I get home. Gotcha, Lone. Gotcha. Alrighty. Oh, it's been so long since I've wanted to talk, or since I've talked to you. Since I've wanted to talk. That's mean. I'm sorry. That's not true also. I'm sorry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today, is this the right one? Yes, it is. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be experiencing the Summer Game Fest. Why did it? Yeah, stop glitching out. We're going to be experiencing the Summer Games Fest. There's a lot of actually things that we're probably going to see here. I was actually blown away at what we'll probably see, but in the title they say more Mortal Kombat and Frontline Wild. But we also have Capcom in there, so we might see Dragon's Dogma. That'd be amazing. Some more gameplay of Dragon's Dogma. That'd be fantastic. And only 2 days from now, we have Ubisoft's, Xbox's, I think one other one, but I'm not sure if we'll watch that other one. We have a bunch of game coverage to go look at. And dude, ever since, Meta helped because it's just more games, but I also found out that Asgard's Wrath is going to be standalone, so you're not going to be able to like have a prettier PC version of it, which I just feel like is ass. Like super ass. I don't know. Anyways, but we also, what did we just have that I thought was amazing? Damn, okay. So maybe I'm just hyped, because this is the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I almost broke down and started streaming a little ahead of time. I wasn't sure I was going to stream, but I wanted to talk your guys' ear off about this. I know I'm not like a VR channel really established yet or anything like that, but I thought this was awesome. I don't think I can show you guys the actual gameplay or like footage of the Apple Vision Pro. Now, first off, let me get something out real quick. I know there's like a frustration, my phone. I know there's like a frustration with Apple being kind of Apple and having, very expensive things and overselling, a lamp is like $1,000. Yeah, all that. I understand. I get it. If we could detach that for a minute, I think this is really, really cool. I also think, and I watch so many reaction videos, man, and it's so funny. Every single time they show the eyes, I feel like every single person went, ugh, oh no, please stop. God, why? It's brutal. I kind of get it. I don't think it's necessary. This is why I'm so excited for potentially a really good VR headset that I'm keeping my eye on called it's a special name. But it also has some like weird Bitcoiny stuff in it, so maybe it's all scam, so I'm not getting too excited. But regardless, in that headset, they're giving consumers the option to take away things that you don't want to lower the price. So if you don't want hand tracking, and you're just gonna use controllers anyway, don't get the eye tracking or don't get the hand tracking. If you don't want the pass-through, don't get the pass-through. And that should lower the price significantly, so where you can actually experience a lot of these good things. Which is awesome. And again, if Apple eventually got to the point, I don't think they would do this, but I think if they ever made a tier below the Vision Pro, they would take away that stupid screen in the front and just give you like an LED at the top that shines through the glass and illuminating the glass, and that will be like white will mean you're recording, blue will mean you're seeing through or something. But I will say, man, the one thing that is evident, like I can't even stress how, to me, this is massive, is, how do I put this? People keep saying that like Apple just bodied Meta, and to me, well, yeah, outside of price, everything is seemingly extremely good, but it also could just be an ad, which is what people have also said. But I will say, man, one thing that Meta and that so many game companies struggle with, like we just had the PlayStation showcase. I thought it was pretty good, but there were parts that were like lulls and that weren't exciting. And I think that's something that Apple is doing really, really well with this whole conference. As much as it may be like advertiser weirdness, it might be impractical, it might be more uncanny valley than we're used to. The one thing that to me is evident is that they showed users what its potential could be. Like it got people excited for where this could possibly go. And I also don't think people are giving Apple credit at all. Like I love the memes and the nonsense. Where is it? Is it this? It's not that. This. So many people. Well, first of all, it's hilarious. Also, what's good, Cool? Cool Dog, what's good? Cool Dog says, TBH, I just got here and looking like Asylum. I was looking at what? What do you mean? Oh, the thing. What do you call it? So this. Well, first of all, as soon as people seen this, everyone thought two things: Hadada, or like uncanny valley creepiness, right? That was your first initial reaction. Specifically, mine was like, dude, this is like POV porn for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that guy, but this is like they're showing like, look at your children, and you're like, listen, man, that's nice, but we know what this is gonna be used for. And to build on that, I think I've seen a lot of people take a piss out of this, saying it's like an uncanny valley, Black Mirror episode of you looking at your dead relatives or your deceased children or wife and not being able to move on or whatever. Which you can do now. Like you can do now. There's already people who are like 80-year-old men who are like sitting on a park bench with the picture of his old wife and just waiting there to die, which is both beautiful and horrifying at the same time. But yeah. But this to me, man, is one of the reasons why I think, Apple 100% gets it. For better or for worse. It's like having an evil scientist have the plan of action, you know what I mean? But this to me is really, really interesting. The reason why is because this is basically Apple solving the problem for a lack of substantial VR experiences out there. What I mean by that is you can go to YouTube and put on like a VR video, and it basically just looks like you're in like a bowl with like paper mache wallpaper. And there's no depth, basically. There's no 3D depth, not like you would get in a VR game where you're actually rendering a 3D world and you're perceiving depth. This does that. But this gives everyone who's crazy enough to spend $3,000 on a headset that ability. But still, that's something that I'm pretty sure all of us in the VR space can probably use. Like, I'm pretty sure this could be uploaded to maybe YouTube if they work with Apple in some way to do that, to make the VR experiences much, much better. This is an example of, look at, you can experience a memory with your kid again. But imagine if you were going mountain biking with one of these headsets on and like this dude's ripping down a mountain. Imagine how immersive and crazy that is. Maybe that's a little bit dizzying. Maybe you want to go to Alaska or one of these beautiful Swedish countries that have like the most jaw-dropping surroundings ever, and a nice person just slowly walking and strolling through that environment, and you're sitting there in VR actually able to perceive the depth in front of you. That's going to be beautiful, 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 beautiful. And there's going to be a ton of POV porn. Absolutely. But also that. So they're building out like basically infinite infrastructure based on what the person who is filming wants to create. This is going to create a community and a marketplace, I guess, for these kinds of experiences, which is amazing. Also, it just makes these kinds of experiences more valid. So imagine you go to a concert and you wear one of these derpy headsets. You film it for 2 hours or something. The concert goes on for like 6 hours or something. You film it for a little bit. Then you put it in your bag, and then someone sees this on social media. They click on it. Hopefully, if you have a VR headset, if you have a cheap one, whatever, you put this on. You hit go, and then you're able to actually see if the experience is worth going there or not. It just, to me, it's not only shareable, but it's also like almost like Amazon reviews, or like what is it called? Like the reviews, basically, being able to see things and being able to see like, is this worth this experience, and then getting a small fraction of that experience. I think that makes a lot of sense. This to me is like the biggest thing that they have done that is the smartest, if it's more than just like a 2-minute clip that you can record, you know? What's good, Red? Cool says it was white and a woman with a strap jacket. I'm not sure, Cool, what you what exactly you're talking about. An asylum it was looking at? Well, I don't know what that is. That sounds crazy, whatever that is. But yeah. Are you talking about this, maybe? But yeah, man, even being able to see, there are some negative notes that people have mentioned, like the fact that it's only 2 hours, but if you plug it in, sure. Again, I think mostly this is just trying to sell people the excitement that this possibly could have. And yeah, this looks pretty sick. I've actually never experienced 4K before, and the fact that this little old thing can actually do all that is pretty incredible. Now, granted, that little thing costs probably as much as you could experience by buying a TV for that much, but still. And yeah, also just like, again, the idea that you could, like, this is something that Meta has refused to do. Everything that Meta is kind of dumb and not doing, Apple just said, we'll do that. We'll do that and we'll make it look cool. So one of the things that they showed is the application for school and study. So you're like learning a bunch of stuff. You have all these windows open where you're able to read if you want. You also eventually, probably, they have a slight test where you could actually pull out a 3D model of something and see it. I could imagine a future, where they could program like a lecture. Like a person could put on a headset, film a lecture, and then a person who is good with graphic design could like add stuff to the edit of that 3D film and have text float up beside you and help you do math questions. So like knowledge, information, and stuff like that could be fantastic. Also, the refresh rate's pretty high, right? So it's also that. So that to me is really cool for the application of that. Also, entertainment hasn't been like Meta's field day at all. And I've always thought, why couldn't you do that? Now it's weird that they've shown you like entertainment kinda, where you're like sitting in a Mandalorian space rover and looking at like a big screen. Like that's kind of cool. Like I get it, that's pretty sick. But it's not quite like, I think, using the fact that other things could be affecting you whilst you're experiencing it. Although they did show 3D, and that could be huge. Because 3D had this idea of like, it was cool, but it wasn't worth it, and the value that you got from seeing a 3D film wasn't as much of a value for putting on the headset, or putting on the glasses, I mean. But if you could see like giant dragons appear beside you and like wherever you look they would be, that's pretty fire. That could be really exciting. As far as the productivity of it, it kind of, sure. I think it'll take people, it'll take the comfort factor. Like the biggest thing with the productivity thing of it all is they need to make it really comfortable and really like light. Because if you're like, meetings go on for hours, like 4 hours. So are you going to wear this thing for 4 hours? Especially when there's no like supportive top head strap part. That's, but it's Apple, so they're probably planning on like it being a problem and then you paying for it, paying for the expansion or the support or whatever it is. I think the weird uncanny valley face that you can like 3D print into your thing is a little sketchy, a little much. All right, but it's better than Meta's like creepy, gross Wii U faces. You know what I mean? That's funny because I don't know why they didn't do just like a Pixar type of vibe. Like it's much more like goofy, fun, wholesome anime-esque vibe. Like there's already like a filter thing that if you just put a camera in, you hit a button, it'll filter your face and make you like a Pixar character, which I feel like people would be much more behind until this gets more developed. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Needless to say, I am very, very excited, and I wish I would have filmed this video as soon as I was done seeing all this, because I had much more thoughts. And now, after seeing a bunch of reactions, after seeing a bunch of people's initial take, to me, I kind of have like had my answers. I feel how I feel about it, but I don't remember how I got to the place where I felt the way I feel. If that makes any sense. I'm definitely not getting one, by the way. I do not have that much money to spend on this. But I am very excited for what this will do, even outside of things, things that, what is it called? Things like higher resolutions and like windows popping up. But like, again, everything about this, it seems like Apple is like paving the way forward. I had this whole thing that I wanted to break down to you guys, which I thought would be really fun. Running out of time because the conference is about to start. But it was basically, if you look at this whole thing like as if it's on a treadmill going forward, I think it makes sense that Apple's releasing this headset. It's hyper expensive, but as people develop apps for it, as people invest in it, and as influencers keep showing like what this stuff can do, what it's capable of, new features, etc., I think that $3,000 price tag people will start to find, like, people are already interested in this, which is crazy. $3,000, that's insane. And people are already kind of like, well, maybe I could not have a TV and have this, my gigantic TV. So people are already weirdly interested in this. So I think over the course of a year and a half, honestly, people will continue to become more interested in it as apps and things get developed. And then I think that's when Apple's going to reduce the price and release a non-pro version. However, and this is a big however, I think because there's already going to be such a big willingness that's going to be chipping away at the mass consumer audience, I think eventually they're like the price jump. I don't think it's going to be $800, which I think is what everyone would have hoped for. I think it's probably going to be like $1,500. It's still going to be a really top of line headset type of sell. But also in that time period, I bet they're going to slowly, like, again, I can just see the strategy behind what they're going to do, which is they're going to try to get this audience where it's just like entertainment, productivity. And then they're going to release Apple's unique partnership with this insert company that makes controllers. And then after they've established that they've gotten this market, they're going to move over to the gaming market and try to kind of make some deals with them. And build up that kind of stuff. It's hilarious though also, man, because Netflix has just talked about them doing like this, like getting into film and games or something like that. No one really knew what they were talking about. I guarantee this is what they were talking about. The kind of like crossroads between this weird gaming and experiential thing. Like imagine if you're watching Netflix on a big screen and then choices like appear below you and you can actually choose where you would actually go, what you'll actually say. And based on that, you'll go down this linear path. I could see that being something that they're going to kind of reintroduce and re-interest, because this is something that's already existed for a long time, make re-interesting to the public, I think. But dude, I'm excited. I think it's a good time to be a VR fan. I think it is. It could be bad. It could be good. We'll see. We shall see. I'm excited. I'm scared. What do you think about Red? What do you think Red as well as Cool? Sorry I went on a tangent there. I just wanted to make sure I got all my thoughts out because I didn't make a video talking about that, and I really wanted to talk about it, especially the cleverness of the fact that you can film stuff with depth. Could be amazing for just content in the VR space, which is amazing. If you wanted to go to a rock concert, all you'd have to do is wear this stupid headset. People judge you a little bit, but then you could film what it's like to be there. You could film what you could get tickets to an NBA game and sit in the stands. Although I don't think they would let you record, but needless to say, there's experiences that you could show. You could do mountain biking with this thing on, and people could actually experience the depth of being in that. Because right now, YouTube's like VR content is awful. You don't actually feel like you're in this 3D space. And I don't think this will be perfect. I think it'll be a step in the right direction, though. I think if Apple ever did make a camera or partner with someone that made a camera that perceived depth in that way, that could be pretty huge. But anyways, needless to say, I'm excited. And yeah. Red says, sorry about what? I'm distracted thinking about my mod and how to model some. Okay. I was just gonna ask you, what did you think about the Apple headset? What were the good parts? What were the bad parts for you? Like the interesting parts and intriguing parts and cool tech, and then also just the like crazy nonsense stuff. I think the stuff on the surface level is the eyes are creepy. Creepy eyes. No, not a fan. I don't need people to look in my face. I'm fine with wearing things. I also love the design of it. The design of it to me is pretty fire. People are saying like, it looks like you're wearing goggles. And I'm like, do you know how stupid wearing other VR goggles look like? Looks like you're wearing a giant mount on your head. All right, boys, we're doing it. It's beginning. Let me know if you can't hear it. Go to live. There we go.
Creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley.
There we go. Just lagged up a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if it's too quiet, too loud.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Summer Game Fest.
Video games. Oh, my back.
We are in person, and today we've got a look at what's next in video games for you. We are live here in Los Angeles at YouTube Theater, and it feels so good to be in person with a live fan audience for the first time ever. Welcome, everybody.
That's a stylish suit, Jeff. Is Apple so black? Yeah, I can't get that. I feel like it's some people's.
When I started Summer Game Fest back in 2020 from a spare bedroom, I never imagined it would grow into this. Today, the video game industry has come together to show you what's next. This is a cross-industry showcase, meaning no matter where you play games, I hope you'll discover a new game to put on your wish list. The landscape of video game events has certainly changed over the past few years.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeff just yoinked all them people.
There are a lot of great games in development, and our singular goal today is to get you excited about the future. In just a few minutes, we'll see the first extended gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1.
Sweet. The video is getting age restricted. It feels about right.
Don't worry. Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
The reveal of Fortnite's next season. And yes, we do have a very special grand finale that you're not going to want to miss.
Please let it be a Dragon's Dogma gameplay trailer, like a whole ass
walkthrough. Let's get right to the games and gameplay. The first reveal is something you're not expecting, which makes it that much more exciting. Here we go.
What is this? I tuned out because I was reading Ubisoft.
Our kingdom is cursed. The prince has been
Is this an Ubisoft mobile game?
taken to a forbidden land.
It's an Ubisoft mobile game, isn't it?
All hope rests with us. The
Awesome!
immortals,
Starting
to
off,
rescue him and
bulletproof.
save the empire. But
We got
weren't
Panthers.
prepared for what was coming next.
And 2D skulls. Put some rap music in behind it.
And
Sold.
again, they weren't prepared for me.
It looks like it's made by that developer that made all these side-scroller games, because they were really good at that, but also it's a side-scroller kind of game, so I don't know if people are as into it unless it's like Ori and the Blind Forest and like super artsy, you know? That granted, Ori was fire, so it was like super artsy, like, it was like gorgeous. Wouldn't this be cool if this is Prince of Persia? God, I love Prince of Persia. Like, ruined it. I shouldn't say I love it. I really enjoy it. It was one of the games of my childhood, you know what I mean? Prince of Persia? I don't think it is. I haven't seen any dagger that slows down time.
In these times of darkness, hope is the only thing that keeps us fighting. I will fulfill my destiny and save the kingdom.
Maybe. Looks kind of like a dagger. Oh, it is! Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. How are you gonna make a Prince of Persia game without the dagger that turns back time? What?
There's a little surprise. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is coming in January 2024. A brand new action-adventure platformer in the iconic series with deep combat, some huge boss fights, and of course, incredible platforming, puzzles, and animation, bringing a modern take on the legendary franchise. You'll be able to see more at Ubisoft Forward, streaming on Monday as part of Summer Game Fest. All right, let's move along to another iconic video game franchise that just celebrated 30 years. That's right. It's time for Mortal Kombat 1.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Prince of Persia. Why?
Couldn't keep you waiting on this one.
Why would you do it through that type of game?
It has been 4 years since MK11, and ever since, Ed Boon and the team at NetherRealm have been hard at work on the most ambitious MK yet that reboots the series into a new era timeline, and it's coming this September. Everyone has been asking, what does it look like? Who's on the roster? How do the new cameo fighters work? Well, now it is time for combat. No spoilers, but this video is literally insane. Here is an extended first look at the story, gameplay, and yes, of course, the fatalities of
Sorry,
Mortal
YouTube.
Kombat 1. Let's do it!
All right, here we go. Let's let our stomachs turn just a little bit. What?
I have had enough of you.
Then go before I put you down.
Fight.
Okay. Looks the same graphics. Looks a little bit better. Also, but the Mortal Kombat, the previous one, had such good graphics anyway. So it was like, how good can you get? And dude, this game always handled weight so well. Especially with the new characters who were strong.
Worthy of joining us.
Like Jason Voorhees was on one of these.
I must gather.
And it was just a machine.
Sento, it's my family blade. Sento's mine, and I won't give it up without a fight.
Ooh. That dude's buns. What's with that guy having? Hey guys, I don't mean to be that. That guy has a shapely bum. All right, that's like a lot of. That's like 1,000 squats. There's like a shot where it's just a lot of that. Especially if it's a backlit, so black pants.
Enough. Okay, let's go back to one here. Who are you again?
I don't like seeing them in LA.
Protector of Earthrealm,
Throws me off.
God of Fire.
Okay. That guy's just there. He's just there, chilling. Okay. No wall running. Yeah. I feel like the whole Prince of Persia thing, man.
You have skills, Raiden, but you're inexperienced.
Whatever experience I lack, I make up for in heart.
Oh, I see. This is the first, like, yeah, Mortal Kombat 1. I didn't put that together. That's why everyone looks all young. Oh, here we go. Ooh.
If your disease becomes known, you will be banished.
Oh, this is the girl with the crazy
I want
teeth.
what's best for you.
Or do you secretly covet my throne?
But their relationship did not improve at all. But what I was gonna say, what do you call Red? I think Prince of Persia, it's like pretty easy. Just do like Shadow of Mordor or give it to the Ubisoft, the devs of Assassin's Creed. I feel like I would love that, like the ability to go back in time and shit, and like throw your dagger to a place and teleport there. Like there's so many fun things you could do. I like how like everyone's throwing like space magic, and then there's just a guy with a taser who's on par, and you're like, what? What is going on? I don't feel like the... Okay, that one's... I was gonna say, I don't think they're more violent than previous, but these ones are. Oh. Yeah, no, never mind. They only showed us half of the torture, I guess. Whew. Damn. Eesh. Golly, that's a lot of blood. Brett says, also, I'm not a fan of fighting games, so this is not interesting.
That was pretty good, right, guys?
I did enjoy Mortal Kombat. Yeah. The videos are always fun. Like, even though you can't play them, they're fun to watch videos of, I think.
About what we just saw, and to tell you more, I am so honored to welcome to Summer Game Fest one of our industry's greatest creators, a man who has been loyal to the same franchise and fan base for more than 3 decades. Please join me in welcoming to Summer Game Fest the creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon!
Is it fucked up that whenever I hear him praise anyone, I immediately think it's Kojima? I just think he needs to give some love to other people just so we know who he's talking about.
Congratulations. They love you. All right. Well, Ed, first of all, thank you for that incredible world premiere. We got to see all of the gameplay of MK1, and
really, you didn't enjoy Alan Wake, Red?
First of all, this is in a it's MK1.
I thought it was awesome, especially for the time.
So tell us about this. Is it a new timeline?
Yeah. I don't know how many people have seen
it wasn't a narrative
game
like that at the time. I don't
Liu
think.
Kang basically was kind of graduated into like a fire god, right? And he created a brand new universe, and this universe, this is why we're calling it Mortal Kombat 1, is because this is the beginning of a new timeline.
Oh, okay.
A number of these characters you've seen before, but they're told in a completely different story, and so Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers now, and there's all these things that were rivalries before are now allies, and so mixing the whole thing up. So we're just kind of rebooting, and that's what the 1 is for.
Oh. It looks incredible. Everything we saw there was, in-game.
Good time to jump in, I guess.
Cinematics look incredible. I know the team has been working for 4 years on this, but the thing we got to talk about are these cameos, because we saw some pretty amazing stuff there. Now, so tell us, how does that work? You obviously have your main character that you'll pick, and then I know you also have a separate kind of cameo menu, so you pick sort of a pair when you start the game.
Yeah, normally in a fighting game you'll see a roster, basically, where you select your character. After you do that, there's a second roster of characters, which are a whole new, completely different fighters that are the cameo fighters. And these fighters actually, they will join the fight, but they...
A lot of blank squares there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, imagine yourself with Sub-Zero, but you have some of Jack's moves, and you can call him out. You could do it multiple times, as you saw in the gameplay, So you can you can basically combine these two characters. All the characters can be combined with all the cameo fighters, and that's where you see, that's where the player's kind of imagination comes in, and they can actually customize it for what they like.
That's kind of cool, change up the format.
The best team-ups.
Well, so how does that work? So you're in gameplay, you have your main, and you have your cameo. How do you summon them? Is it time based? Like how often do they come into? It's not a tag team thing, right? Where
yeah, exactly. And you're basically summoning them. It's just one button push is basically summoning, but they have a variety, so you can go.
I like this a lot more than
towards, and it'll do a different move. Push it with
Sony's
down,
thus far.
Move.
Just the idea that we're actually going to hear about the games.
Oh, I see. So you can bring them in a combo.
And explain like actually what the gameplay is.
And you see, there's like a meter.
It goes
up
beyond
top,
just like a quick showcase.
That'll limit it, so you can't obviously fire them indefinitely, but you can call them pretty much whenever you want, and they have, like in the middle of a combo, they'll have a lot of, basically a whole arsenal of their moves. So Sonya, you'll come out there. Sometimes you'll see them appear twice in there.
Amazing. So time-based, they come out, and then obviously as you go through,
I was at Mortal Kombat so fun to watch, even if you don't play it personally.
Set of characters that'll be in the cameos, or there's some repeats from the main roster. How will that work?
Yeah. Some of the characters are going to be available as cameos as well as the main roster fighters. You can play Sub-Zero with Sub-Zero, right? Same thing with Scorpion. But a lot of our cameo fighters are kind of like nods back to our first game. So you'll notice Sonya and Kano and Jax are in their kind of older costumes.
What do you call Red?
So
on the topic of like them making a lot of remakes recently from like Corpse and Devs doing that, running out of ideas. I think it's less about them running out of ideas, and I think it's more about
a lot of like kind of really digging into the old Mortal Kombat.
There's basically already built up goodwill with those games. So in a sea of microtransactions and games that release broken, it's just reassurance to players so that they're going to get at least what they are expecting that they've gotten before.
Well, speaking
which for
of
so many people having such a disheartened version of view of the gaming industry right now with their broken, glitchy nonsense, more money, more microtransactions. People would rather take the devil they know than the devil they don't, I guess, at this point.
It's a
I think that's why the remakes do so well.
Full circle moment. The first Mortal Kombat game, we originally wanted to be Van Damme, the video game, and that never really worked out. So I can't tell you how many times over the last 30 years we've tried to get him. We were this close, like 4 or 5 times. So finally we got him, and he's doing the voices, too.
Wow.
So you're going to hear Jean-Claude, his voice doing Johnny Cage lines and stuff like that. We're really excited about it.
Wow.
That's
well,
awesome.
I know the team has been working so hard in Chicago to build this through COVID, and it's coming out in September, so we don't have to wait long, right?
That's right. This has been a very difficult,
exactly.
secret to keep over the last 4 years. And so, but we could a lot more content.
Only
lot more
recently have I thought gaming movies have made a comeback.
So there's a lot of reveals that are coming up.
They were bad for a while, and they still are pretty rough.
Thank you so much for giving us the
Unless
first
you know what
look
you're doing.
at MK1. As you said, this weekend people will be playing it, press and media, so we'll be seeing lots more coverage, lots more characters to reveal on the main roster and cameos. Ed Boon, thank you so much. First look at Mortal Kombat. Awesome.
That was awesome. I love that. The fact that we got a gameplay walkthrough of it. It wasn't live, so they just clunk. They can go wrong. There's just some nice gameplay in the background.
It's been a fun couple weeks for action RPG fans with the release of Diablo 4, which is truly fantastic. Another big and anticipated ARPG is Path of Exile 2 from GRINN Gear Games, who have faithfully been updating and patching the original PoE since its release in 2013. We haven't seen anything on the sequel in over 2 years, but that changes right now. Here is your first look at a raw gameplay capture from Path of Exile 2, a sequel that pushes the engine and gameplay to a new level.
I think Nub and Fluff, maybe Carthage as well, are losing it right now.
Hey you! What's going on?
And others is like frantic. Anxiety of following that close to you. Eek. Looks really good. The gameplay, people popping off, colors, lightning, blood, gore. Oh shit. Oof. Cut to black. Of course. I feel like not the best idea to release this right when Diablo's out, or not Diablo. I feel like they should have waited maybe end of next year, or what is it called? Game of the Year, Jeff Keighley conference to release that. Because right now I think people are just like, why would I want to play another version of this game, even though it might be better? For nothing but good things.
Summer Game Fest. Well, the team at Capcom has an important update to share with you right now.
For what? For what? I was talking. I'm sorry. Is it? Oh! Wait! Is it? No, I don't know. Oh. Never mind. Now am I getting Dragon's Dogma? Nah. Although Fluff has been saying this is a great game. If this is the same one I'm talking about. Oh, maybe not.
I am the Advanced Artificial Intelligence Leviathan. Welcome to Pikitoa Island.
The new Street Fighter game, Fluff is saying is great. Okay. Weird. Oh, I see. Okay, it's the Biomech, or whatever it's called, the Raptor game, the Dino game. It's very out of place. It's very strange. That's right. I can't read it. Street Fighter Collab. That's awesome. Looks a little off though when you see like a cybernetic human suit. You're like, ew, you're wearing a human flesh. It's gross.
I'm guessing Ryu from Street Fighter facing off against a dinosaur probably wasn't on your bingo card for today's show. That Street Fighter Cross Exoprimal collab will launch in the fall with the game coming out on July 14th.
Path of Exile is a faster pace and more depth version of
not
Diablo.
be the
Yeah. I just feel like people are playing Diablo already.
today.
So I feel like they might be kind of like, well, why would I, like they're settling in, you know? I feel like they want to get bored with Diablo and then have a new game come in later when they're more interested, or when they're not as fatigued or as interested in a different type of game, I guess.
Of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
Is that Nicolas Cage? It's Nicolas Cage! Oh, it's Dead by Daylight. Nice guyliner. Dead by Day. He looks clean. Looks like the best rendered version of Nicolas Cage I've ever seen. Actually, damn. Is he the villain?
Nicolas Cage is coming to Dead by Daylight
Please be the villain.
in July. I mean, I don't know how these things happen, but
I really hope he's like the murderer.
The easiest way to find out is probably to go right to the source.
Oh, Nicolas Cage is here?
Man's bold creative choices have earned him an Academy Award and a few memes
I don't
on the
know,
internet
man.
across more
Every
than
interview I've
4
seen of him is a
decades
little weird.
of
He
incredible
seems like a weird guy.
Please join me in welcoming to Summer Game Fest, Nicolas Cage!
We don't have that great track record of celebrities in gaming. Although he looks good. He's good right now.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Happy to meet you.
Nick, I gotta say, welcome to the video game world.
Oh, wow, yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be invited to your very, very cool club, everybody.
Finally, I mean, I gotta say, this is such a crazy, unexpected
Oh, right,
collaboration.
I've
I gotta
good things about
understand,
Dead by
how did
Daylight.
this come
Right.
about? I mean, some people be like, oh, maybe he'll show up in Fortnite. Maybe he'll be in a Hideo Kojima game. But Dead by Daylight, I mean, how does this happen?
Well, it's a museum of horror, right? And when I make movies, one of my favorite genres is horror. And in this, and in that genre, there's a character, a murderous ghost named Sadako, who I think is amazing. And she made an appearance in this game, so that was good enough for me.
Okay. That's what, yeah, I mean, that's what's fun is you're playing one of the survivors in this game, and it's cool that, you know, it really is this museum of horror. Michael Myers, you said all these different characters all coming together. And you play yourself, or who do you play? So I play this heightened, exaggerated version of a film actor named Nick Cage. He's going to a location thinking he's making a movie, and instead he wakes up in the fog. And in the fog, he's surrounded by crows and serial killers, and it's rather amusing. And there's something about it that I think, as a survivor, is like a bonding experience. It's a bit like hide and go seek. You have your 3 other teammates who are survivors with you, and it's teamwork. You're working together to pull through, and I like that. And so that was a large reason for wanting to do it as well, that feeling of bonding with your friends. And you're fully in for this. I know we heard your voice in there, so you recorded lines for it and everything? See, I want you to know when you're playing the Nick Cage survivor, I even have when you're choosing your skins, I even say, always remember to dress to match your talent. I want you to know that you're with me, that we're one, that we're fused. And so it was important to me that everything I do, everything I say, from the scream to the grunt, down to the most minimal, exasperated expression of a sigh, whatever it is, it's my voice, so that we are fused. All right. Fully method, Nick Cage. I love it. I mean, this is so fun. This game, as you said, is such an awesome kind of, collaboration.
Again,
with so
this
many
is one of those
different
games I love to
characters.
watch.
For you, I mean, how
Can never
did you
play.
find out about
But it's
Dead by
fun to
Daylight?
watch.
Do you know much about the video game
Somebody
world?
very important in my family is a Dead by Daylight enthusiast,
Okay.
and that really put the hook in. Ha, pun intended. See, Dead by Daylight to me was an opportunity to branch out. I've never been invited into this space before.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for new adventures. So this to me was like, wow, I can make a whole new audience, meet a whole new audience, and branch out and go on this Dead by Daylight adventure. I didn't say, it took me nothing but a split second to say yes. And speaking about split seconds, what excuse me, what I noticed. Excuse me, sinuses, allergies. What I noticed was that every move you make when you're doing this, when you're in the gaming space, it's timed down to the split second. It's a very immersive experience when you're acting out in this space, because every move, every grunt, every sigh you make has to be timed perfectly with the gamer's moves. So that was something that I learned from this, and I'm always looking to learn something.
Well, we love having you in the video game world. We want to see Nick Cage and more
I'm surprised he hasn't got an offer yet.
Thanks, guys.
Honestly,
Nick, thank
I was
you
talking
so
some
much.
shit.
Hopefully the first of many. Nicolas Cage, great to see you, man. Awesome. There you go. Lock it in.
That was awesome. I almost got the PewDiePie fail handshake, but Nick was like, "Come here, you son of a bitch." Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say, man, I was like, every time I've seen a celebrity in this space, it looks very like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I did. I am not interested in this. Get away from me. That was clean. Like, that actually felt authentic and real, and not like a weird like publicity thing. That felt real. Good for him. Who would have thought Nick Cage would be one of the people who stand up on that stage and actually sell that he's proud and happy and interested in what he did. The only person that comes to mind is Keanu, but that's also because I think he just cares too much about everything. I think he's such a sweet man. It's like super interested in things like gaming and all these other things. But yeah, he definitely looks better in the image, not in game. In game, looks a little rough with the shadowing, harsh shadows, but still, it's Nick Cage.
Anything goes here at Summer Game Fest. All right, thank you very much, Nick. Now, lately we've been seeing an incredible number of video game adaptations.
Ghost Rider video game, I feel like it would be hard to
The Witcher
make
on
it
Netflix,
gamey,
inspired by
actually
the Witcher
apply
book
gameplay to
series,
it.
showed the potential of
That'd be
well-done
tricky.
adaptations. And later this month, Season 3, Volume 1 arrives, and now it's time for the world premiere of the trailer, introduced by Henry Cavill and the cast.
Oh.
Hello, Witcher fans. We are all gathered here today.
Yeah,
to
he's
share
thrilled.
something with you.
Be sure to tune into The Witcher Season 3. Volume 1
He's so happy.
Volume 1 debuts on June 29th, only on Netflix.
Get ready to watch the world premiere of our brand new trailer for Season 3 of The Witcher.
Thanks for tuning in to the Summer Games Fest and enjoy the trailer.
Yeah, I'm sure Henry Cavill's like, yeah. They fired me because I wanted to make an authentic version of the show. And the writers shit all over the books and the fans who like the books. And I thought, nah. Henry Cavill's like, I love doing this press conference. This feels so good. Totally not contractually obligated to do this.
I won't abandon Siri.
I can barely hear him.
Neutrality has consequences too.
What the heck did they do to our bard, man?
You're right.
I'm right. Well, that's deeply worrying.
Supposedly they're gonna change Geralt in this season because they have
Everything
to.
that's happening.
The new
It's all
actors
connected.
playing him. So don't expect a lot of
She's
Geralt
the
in this.
central bit.
Which is almost like the whole name of the show is Witcher,
War
so,
is coming.
you know.
There is no hiding her from it.
You sure about this?
Are you?
This summer, see the show where the writers thought they were better than everybody. Meanwhile, every consecutive season gets less views, and they still think everyone else is the idiot. Yes, good team.
History has a way of repeating itself.
And the most viewed of all the seasons is shocking. The first one, despite the issues around it, it was pretty damn faithful to the book. And yeah, Or at least more faithful than the fucking second season.
For the first time, I understand real fear.
Sucks is that, like, this, dude, the budget here, the production looks awesome. Yeah.
We're witches.
Is that so?
Maybe it's great. Maybe I'm a hater-ass bitch. I haven't watched the second season. I think people are saying it's so bad, and I just, like, I don't want to, I'll rather have it be nice in my head. I like the Witcher story. I'll keep it in here.
Get over how cute they look for monsters. And they're like, no, please, don't hurt me. And then, wow. Fangs. Just like a boatload of fangs. All up in your business.
So funny, that clip. That was the funniest clip in the whole series. Great. Ooh, anyways, I'm a hater-ass bitch. I'm sorry. Rip this show. Season 1 was fucking awesome. Once Henry was fired, I lost all interest. Dude, I lost all interest when as soon as I heard that the writers were just so toxic and cruel, like so egotistical sounding, and just yuck. I was excited for Henry Cavill's like Metal Gear. Is it Metal Gear? No, not Metal Gear. Sorry. Dark Tides, World Space, Warhammer game. Ooh, I'm excited for this game a lot. I haven't heard when it was gonna come out though. This is Witch Hunter. The Witch Hunt. It's like magic hunt. It's like Van Helsing, but like very cool and very stylized guns. It looks awesome. Looks kind of like Bulletstormy with like more grounded gameplay. Got some magic in there. Got a gigantic gun. Woo! Awesome. Man, that looks good. Just the chain magic and shit. September 20th. Early access launch. Weird. I guess it's like a roguelike? PlayStation VR game. Ooh! Oh, yeah, I love the the way people show VR. Instead of showing PvE shots, no, POV shots, sorry. Instead, they show actors. Because, yeah. Like, it will signal to the gamers that you feel like you're in it. And I'm like, it doesn't at all. In fact, these scenes right here, the POV shots, do that. Actually. This doesn't. This does not sell at all. You are not going to look that cool. You are going to be caked in sweat. Don't give me that. Well, actually, not so much. Gun games are less sweaty than melee games.
Let's go.
That's what you can do. Co-op games. I feel like this game is going to be a fun couple hours. Crossfire Squad. Serials, whatever. It's a VR game, and it's only on PS5, maybe. No, it's on Steam. Never mind. It's on Steam too. Good. I'm very tired of all these writers and directors, etc., taking the established IP but not following the source material and instead doing their own thing badly. Yeah, well, that's the thing that pisses me off, man. It's just like, if there's already a vested interest in this thing, hell yeah, Remnant. Why would you jeopardize your W? You know what I mean? Like, the reason why, if people like the novel, then if you do the novel but in the film way, and then you add visuals to it and you create the world in a bigger way, people will just love that more. So the idea that, like, this is where you get creative is insane. This is the one time where you kind of shouldn't get creative. Every other time when you're making a brand new story or new IP, get creative. And it's funny because new IPs are the most formulaic, shitty, blech things ever. And then all the creativity, because there's a lot of creativity in Witcher, as much as I hate to say it. I wouldn't call it the Witcher movie, the series, but it's just butchered because it's like, why is this in a Witcher story? You know what I mean? Like, none of this makes sense. Yeah. The novel was written in a way because everything compounds on itself and matters. The callbacks, all these things. So if you're just like, I don't like that character, let's kill him. It's like, well, what the fuck? Also, Run from Ashes, dude, amazing game. Definitely playing it. First one was a smash hit because nothing was coming out at the time, and it was also a good game. Deadly combination. What's good, Lone, by the way? We've seen some Mortal Kombat. We've seen a weird Prince of Persia game with a side scroller, odd, and then we've seen what is it called? I forgot what the last one we just seen was. I'm blanking on it. There was another one. I'm not sure how I feel about like the cooperative thing being such a head front there, because I always like playing that game by myself. But it was also fun playing with people though. But
all right, we have much more Summer Game Fest to come, including a first look at the gameplay of Alan Wake 2,
Ooh.
the world premiere of the new season of Fortnite, Call of Duty Season 4,
Nothing.
and maybe a few more surprises for you. As we go
Fortnite
through
and Call of
today's
Duty,
reveals,
nothing.
use the hashtag gaming on TikTok to react to the news. And we want to welcome everyone co-streaming the show live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms. For those of you on Twitch, we also have a special Warframe Twitch drop, a free Steinax Warframe for watching more than 30 minutes of the show. Now, speaking of
Go to Twitch real quick.
surprises, another legendary gaming hero is set to return later this year in a brand new game built from the ground up in a style that I think is going to get this fan base and longtime fans of video games very excited. Here's another Summer Game Fest global game announcement. New thrills with a classic feel.
Those 3 dudes. Even the kid had more shame. You see that kid to the left? He had more shame. He went like, and then went back, receded back into the unknown. More Sonic. I am constantly perplexed that these games, like, I'm happy that they get made and people seemingly like them, but it's one of the things that, like, maybe I'm so disconnected between this world, but I just don't know how much they sell. I would imagine it's not so much that it's worth doing this, maybe? I don't know. Because I just see them, like, every year there's a Sonic-esque kind of game. And I'm like, and it's not like a different take on Sonic either, you know? There was that one that looked kind of hella realistic, was a little odd, but at least that was a different take. But, I don't know, maybe they're simple and they make easy to make and they make enough money to where it's worth doing them, maybe? I don't know, but it's not like Mario where, like, they seem like they're constantly, like that Mario hat game where, like, you can become things. That seems like it's getting nutty, you know? Like, iterating on the idea. Lone says, but hello, how is everyone? I'm doing pretty good, Lone. We talked about the Apple VR. I think it's very exciting. It's very expensive. It's a little, I don't really get the dystopian thing at all. I just feel, people always say dystopian, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you already look at an image. Why is an image being 3D dystopian, you know? Yeah, it's weird. The eyes are a little odd. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. The Apple eye creepiness. Coming fall 2023.
How about
Sonic.
that? A new standard for 2D classic Sonic that's bound to appeal to new and legacy fans alike. This past April, Honkai Star Rail launched, and as you're about to see, the game is bringing an exciting new character to space fantasy RPGs. However, we don't just have a new peak for current players, but also for those awaiting the game's release on PlayStation.
You think that we would hear an update on ZZZ or the other game they're making?
I wish this universe had a few more things to do.
Is that
Don't
Lily
you
Peach?
get bored running across the map every day?
I thought that was Lily Peach for a minute.
Trailblaze, back from duty. Mission 1 accomplished.
No.
Here's our next stop. I can't wait.
Man, this game is good.
Another busy day ahead of us.
I so badly want a Genshin game made by a company that makes open world games and not gacha, but like it'd be exactly like everything else, but yeah, but no gacha.
From the boat.
The tournament's starting. Great.
That looks rad.
Get warmed up.
This character looks clean. Oh, I love the big mecha freaking arm, man. I don't know why. Ever since like the 2000s, I've loved to bits the like demon arm, mecha arm, big ass corrupted arm type thing. I don't know why. It is the best. I know some people like cursed eyes and shit from like Naruto. Not quite my speed, but this. A limb that's just giga crazy. Except not even like its legs, it's not as cool. It's gotta be arm.
Can you let me have some fun this
Either arm or like a spine that converts into like a tail. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
time for a buzz?
And that gameplay really loses me. Like, just look at behind. Look at from them behind and then just give them cues. And they'll do the things. It's great. I've heard nothing but good things from it as well.
Later this year,
Rip
on
Mario
PlayStation,
games.
all right, inspired by the story of Pinocchio, Lies of P is a Soulsborne-like game from the team
hit me
at
with that idea
NeoWiz,
alone.
which is coming to Game Pass, PlayStation, and PC this year. Well, if you're wondering exactly when, we have news to share with you on its release with this brand new trailer.
What is this? I missed. I was talking.
Geppetto's puppet.
Oh, is this the Pinocchio Dark Souls game? We reacted to this like a year, like I want to say a year and a half ago, I think. Do you guys remember this? When I was like, "This is a new Dark Souls type game." I guess it was like trying to get funding, and then finally did. This looks pretty rad, dude. So it's like Pinocchio, I guess, but not really. It's just like your left hand is very biological, I think, and everything else is skin. Kind of like Frankenstein's monster, except more France, I guess. It looks rad though, dude. There's not many settings in like the France era. What's that? Who are the policemen are like iconic, the Billy Bobs, whatever they're called. It's like a really corrupted Orwellian version of fucking Pinocchio's story. She's cute. Not a fan of Pinocchio's hair. Too much volume. Looks like that one like creepy show where Johnny Depp played a murderer who cuts hair. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. The weapon arts look pretty flashy, larger than life. Okay, I was not expecting to see an umbrella weapon. I guess it makes sense. Weapons would be kind of like more steampunky, I guess.
Listen, pal. Nice landing, but let's not make it a habit.
Ooh, I actually don't mind that. When you like the main character's silent, but you have this little like ragtag little box that talks to you. That's pretty rad. Play the demo now. Oh shit! On every console.
That's right. A demo for Lies of P is now available across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Check it out and prepare for the release on September 19th. Now it's time for the reveal of a visually stunning new game based on a classic manga with a story and world created by one of the most celebrated anime artists of all time. This is one of those games that I feel lucky we get to reveal for the first time here at Summer Game Fest. And I think you'll be pretty hyped once you see the gameplay, all built in Unreal Engine 5. Here we go.
What is this? Oh, is this like a One Piece thing? No. I shut up. What? I should know this at this point. Is this the red jacket guy? Sheriff F. Oh, is this a Dragon Ball Z? What the heck is this? Yeah, it's from the creator of Dragon Ball. But it's not Dragon Ball. You play a alien tiny child? Join an adventure. It looks unique. I don't hate the cel-shaded art style. Very Mad Max. Also seems like Gurren Lagann a little bit. I don't hate it. Very anime. The main character reminds me of that guy with telekinesis from that very popular anime movie that people love. He wears a cape and he's got like spiky hair. He's a prince. Stay tuned for Sandland? Or stay tuned, the name of the game. Damn it. That looked neat. I'll have to try the demo. Yeah, we might have to do it too.
Sandland, get ready to become an unlikely hero in an adventure where you don't need to be human to save humanity. That's coming from Bandai Namco, and we're excited to see more of it soon.
I'm surprisingly interested in that one.
Independent games are such an important part of the industry, and one thing that's very important to us at Summer Game Fest is supporting those creators as well. After the live show, stay tuned for Day of the Devs from iam8bit and Double Fine with some incredible indie game reveals. Now, one of the biggest independent publishers is Annapurna Interactive, and later this month, as part of Summer Game Fest, they'll be revealing a number of ambitious new projects. Let's see how many you can figure out in this little tease.
That's a decent idea, Lone. It's like the Versus format, but with anime waifus and the main protagonist with a stick. Ooh! What? What is this? A bunch of indie games coming to... Just like a little shout out to indie games? Sweet. This game was great. Everyone I think could play that game and have a great time. like for $15. I think it's not quite like a full price game kind of good, but it's still good. Like it's still really enjoyable. I think you get it. You get it pretty fast. It's funny because that game does a lot of like extra stuff. Like you can go do these bonus things if you want to keep playing, which is awesome that it does that for you. But it's also kind of like, I kind of want to just progress. I kind of want to keep pace.
Wonder what that was at the end. We'll find out later this month. All right, next we're stepping into the world of Throne and Liberty, a free-to-play PC and console MMORPG from NCSoft and Amazon Games with an always changing environment, massive scale, PvPvE, and the ability to transform into creatures to battle across land, sea, and air. Here's a look at
Man,
Throne and
Amazon's
Liberty.
popping these MMO games out like candy. Golly.
Our guiding star has shattered. Its shards scattered across the world. An ancient evil searches for these lost fragments, destroying anything in their path. You must find them. Harness their power.
You can become a deer.
And put down this threat.
Can I become that?
And for all.
I want to become that ogre thing. I was about to say, we haven't seen them transform yet. You can become a bird, not like a giant bird something raven that's like a Pegasus thing. Instead it's like, no, you just become a hawk. Just a normal hawk that we have in our world, even though there's orcs and shit in this world. What? Why? The armors look dope. Dude, every MMO armor looks fucking great. Prove your strength. I'll be honest, I don't know if this is gonna succeed. Well, actually, that made it look cooler. That was more interesting. Yeah, lots of birds. Big battles. I'll be honest, I don't really know what makes an MMO cool. Like really, like, oh my god, that's like, I don't know. When you see a certain game, you're like, that's gonna be amazing, kind of thing. Dragon Quest, or is it just look like Dragon Quest? Yeah, it looked like more. I got Dragon Ball Z vibes. Maybe that's the same with Dragon Quest.
I also want to say hello to everybody watching on Steam right now. I'm sorry we don't have any free Steam Decks for you right now, but on June 19th, Steam Next Fest does return, giving fans a chance to try out hundreds of new in-development games. One of them is the free-to-play medieval fantasy sword-fighting game Warhaven from Nexon, which lets you transform into supernatural immortals. Here's a new look.
What? Sounds familiar. Neo White Cause, it's only like $20 on PlayStation because I enjoyed it when you... Yeah, no, I think you'd love it alone. It's really satisfying. I feel like it'd be one of those games you'd play for like a day straight, beat it, like obsess, beat it, and pack it in. That man looks cold. He's been dead for a millennia. It looks good. Looks very For Honor, but with way too many people. Like the whole reason why For Honor works so well is because you could have, like, whenever enemies stacked up on you, it'd get really bad. That's why one-on-one combat was so good. Yeah, maybe. It looks like weirdly like For Honor in that one game that people it looks pretty satisfying to get those hits in. That looks straight out of God of not God of War. That looks straight out of a FromSoft game. That one girl. What's that game? Paragon. That's what I was gonna say. It looks like For Honor and Paragon. You are definitely from a goddamn FromSoft game. Looks neat. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to see if that would work because it looks like a lot on screen, and like it's just gonna dissolve into like 5 people ganking one person, and then you're just gonna meet up. The YouTuber showcase thing. This is actually a great game. I was surprised this game didn't do better. I seen it like once be played by a couple creators, then never again. And I thought, damn, that was always one of the things I always thought. Why didn't you only see like an indie game but you don't see anyone like make a competitor to it and then just like level up the production and then just keep going with it. I don't know why that didn't happen in Game Beast. That was one of those things I kept seeing. I was like, what the heck?
Pilgrims, summer is coming, and with it, a lot of cool stuff will make its way to Dying Light Tuesday Human. Get ready for darker, more dangerous nights and roaming volatiles, complete with improved parkour, rolling out with the next update in June. Then, right after that, we'll kick off an event season like you have never seen before. Trust me, for one of them, you will want to get your butt barbed wired. Very soon, you will get the deadliest summers to date.
Huh. They spent so much money on that set, I always wondered what the fuck. Oh. Is this a me thing? Or is this something else? Panic. New maps. A Crash Bandicoot multiplayer game, I guess? Huh. Maybe for like, they're trying to get the kid audience? I don't know. Man, Splatoon popped off, and Splatoon I thought would do well. It's one of those games that looks so weird that you're like, yeah. That game again, it just repeated itself. The Psychonauts 2, people are like, we want it, no one bought it. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? That's so fucked up. But I hear it's great. I hear the game's great. I don't know why I can do most of those things in actual games. Amazon games, I don't have confidence. Yeah, well, I didn't hate New World. New World seemed fine. I haven't seen something that makes. No one's putting their neck out on like a big, great idea. Like if there was an MMO where you you tame dragons, you know, like that kind of shit, like Dragonborn or
Neocortex's right-hand guy in
Dragon
season
Balance was called.
1. Now it's time to change the topic and descend into madness. Joining me is a guy who was last on stage at the Game Awards 2021 to announce Alan Wake 2. Yeah. He's come all the way from Finland. Please welcome from Remedy, Sam Lake.
Here we go in the game of in the era of video-like games or movie-like games. Here we go. What the hell is this?
Looking dapper as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we are so excited because when you announced Alan Wake 2 at the Game Awards, you said 2023. We are in 2023.
Tell me at the end of the stream, okay? Because I feel like I'll forget this and I want to keep.
And we are so excited about this, Sam. I know it's been a long time coming for fans and for you. 13 years since the first Alan Wake. So tell us a bit about what can we expect in the sequel.
It's been quite a journey, yes.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's first survival horror game. We have two playable characters. It's a 50-50 split between them. They are on their own separate terrifying journeys through two different worlds, and yet it's all connected. And the player gets to switch between them at given points in the story as they choose.
Yeah, we saw, obviously, at the PlayStation event, you revealed Saga, the second character. Tell us a bit about her. She's in Bright Falls, and she's sort of living a narrative that Alan has written. Is that right?
Well, that's a good question to ask going into this. So, yes, we have Alan Wake, our title character, of course, trying to escape from the nightmare dimension of the dark place. Yes. And then we have Saga, our new hero, FBI agent, coming to the Pacific Northwest small town of Bright Falls, together with her partner, Alex Casey.
Okay. So how, and they're somehow linked in some way, right?
They are coming to investigate a series of ritualistic murders.
Okay.
And very quickly, the investigation turns into a nightmare when they discover pages of a horror story. Maybe written by a certain missing writer.
By the initials AEW.
And this horror story starts to come true
that's cool.
around them.
Interesting. So obviously, it's Alan is still going to be
It'd
playable
be really cool
in
if
the
you
game.
could,
You're going to experience his journey.
At the very beginning of the game,
Saga,
they tell you the story generally,
sort of link. Tell us
and then you can make choices to like, if you remember that story, to do the right thing.
Because I think you can play them in sort of different sequences or orders if you want, right?
Yeah, we go into the experience playing as Saga, and it's a sequel
but it's also a standalone experience. We are not expecting everybody to do homework if they have not played the original game. This can be enjoyed as is. Saga doesn't know anything about the lore, about the supernatural in this world.
Man,
she will be going in.
I think if you were to go on YouTube and write Alan Wake the movie and you got the DLC in there, it's a good time. Especially if they cut out all the bullshit you having to shoot people.
With her. And then we open up the experience so that you can hop to play Alan Wake in the dark place as he's trying to find his way out. And you can keep on playing as Saga in the Pacific Northwest as the investigation goes on. And you are free to switch between them. There are a lot of connection points in many surprising ways.
In GTA, you can just anytime go back and forth.
There is no right way to play through this. You can choose. You can go on as Alan all the way close to the end, or as Saga, or you can keep hopping between these two.
Oh, I didn't know. That's awesome. So you can basically choose who you want to play with.
Telling challenging, interesting narratives in unique ways. I mean, Remedy's always been known for that, and you especially. So we can't wait to see how these stories intertwine, I'm sure, throughout the experience. Today, though, I know you brought with you some gameplay of Saga's adventure. We're just going to see a raw segment of the game, right?
A lot of good
raw
gameplay,
man. For the first time ever. This is early on from the experience.
They're hyped, Sam. They're ready for it. So tell us, what are we going to see?
Supernatural forces of darkness have brought the murder victim, in this case, back to life as a monster. And Saga is outside Bright Falls at Cauldron Lake trying to find him and stop him.
Okay, with that, let's take a look at raw, unedited gameplay from Alan Wake 2. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Love it. Hopefully we get more of this. Gameplay and in-game cinematic something. Gameplay not final, representative at game that I got you. Just a hopeful dream. This does not like YouTube's compression, man, because it looks a little dark. Alan Wake is one of the darkest games ever because the whole gameplay loop is that you're like shining a light on darkness beings and then you can weaken them when you strip their darkness shadow and then shoot the shit at them.
Sounds like somebody's home.
Very Resident Evil-esque in terms of the way it feels to play. I tried to like Alan Wake, I just got bored pretty quickly. Yeah, I think it basically is one of those Hideo Kojima games which is better just to watch as a movie, and they didn't really do enough to make the gameplay gamey, I guess. You know, like it's the same mechanics throughout the entire experience. You point, you shred, you shoot, you're done. Same thing, rinse and repeat. You sometimes get a new gun that kind of is the same thing. Shoot bullets. Shotgun was the only one that felt like drastically, massively different. You know what I mean? But yeah, we've seen this one. I think that's the one where the guy just like bull rushes through the door. What the fuck? The door with the deer to sleep in there? What? What? Right through that. Yeah, there it is. What? The light no longer shreds the shadow. Okay, never mind. Ooh, I like that they gave you like a special spot to shoot at. Oh, fuck. I guess you can just shoot anywhere? I guess now we can't put it on shadow anymore? Damn, you really lighten that up. That's a lot of... You're seeing the inside of his chest and shit. Okay. Alan Wake's like, let's be gory now. Okay. Man, YouTube fucking hates gore. So every time I see shit on me, I'm like... Even though I think it's cool, but YouTube is just like, no! Disgusting! Advertisers run away. And I'm like, how did they do? Oh, you didn't like the protagonist? Oh, okay. I thought he was fine. I enjoyed Alan Wake. Then again, I played this game when I was like 11 years old. Yeah. It's been a while. Hot minute. Also, it's Remedy, so it's always going to be like a pretty game that works.
Is clearer now. Legible.
Like the worst thing that Remedy has is that the graphics are too ambitious, so then the FPS lower is like too high. When they can just lower the graphics and keep the FPS high.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson.
Usually.
Killer left a message.
It's for us.
We were all trapped in a horror story. The horror story wanted us dead.
Big fan of the Alan Wake beard, all right? Looking a little bit Keanu-y, but that's not a bad thing.
Something important.
Ooh, the character designs are creepy as hell. Like the Azura 6 arms kind of thing.
A long time coming, but Alan Wake 2 looks incredible. Thank you to Sam and Remedy for that first look at gameplay. Now let's get a first look at the co-op campaign of Warhammer Space Marine 2 from Saber and Focus.
Oh shit! Dude, after that Warhammer like boomer shooter that they just released.
Splinter fleet. They engaged us on 2 planets, Avarax and Kadaku. I'll be straight with you, Titus. I have my reservations about your reinstatement. There could be questions. Will that be a problem? No, Captain.
God damn, that's a big, big boy. A lot of enemies on screen too. Jesus. This is open world or just open level? It's like open level.
My pledge is eternal service. Xenos inbound! Eviscerate this abomination!
Kill like millions and millions of things. I always love when I see like these gigantic warriors just like move and sprint so fast. Such a weird thing.
Open the gates. Care to see if we can slay more Xenos for the Chiron?
Sounds pretty bad. Funny because there's never a question in the Warhammer universe if you're a monster or not. So then you can kind of just subsume the role of like a bloodthirsty monster without any like, oh, everyone's a monster here, so not that bad in comparison. Maybe. Oh, I see. So you got to Alan Wake a little bit late. Gotcha. I think I got to it immediately when it came out. I remember I just watched. I was always into playthroughs, so I just watched a bunch of people play and I liked it a lot. What? Oh, I've heard a lot of people like this too. Kingdom, right? Is this what it's called? Kingdom something. It's not just Kingdom. I heard a lot of people play this and they loved it. I love how 2D games are using that like highly the lighting, basically the lighting that makes them look like, okay, I see. Looks better than it looks good. It looks good. Your Grace, my potatoes. Hug or shake hand. Hug and hug. Don't think you're asleep. What? Lighting is doing so much heavy lifting. In every shot, he's so well backlit. What is going on? The main protagonist shit right there. Oh, it's not that. Yes, Your Grace. Oh, I thought this was the Kingdom game I've seen before. Add to your wish list.
Beautiful indie game, yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. Now it is time for another global game announcement. This one comes from the minds of Saber Interactive, Focus Entertainment, and yes, horror master John Carpenter. It's a brand new world, a brand new story, and looks like a heck of a lot of fun. Check this out.
Keep talking over what he says, so I'm kind of clueless for the first little bit. That's the only time I can mention anything, because I don't want to interrupt the story. Or like the words. What is this? Soldier?
We gotta be ready.
Hot soldier woman, perhaps?
Nobody half-asses it this time. Ruby.
Ugh. On my mark.
Yeah,
5, 4, 3.
A zombie game!
1.
What the heck is this?
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love.
YouTube, please. Please, YouTube. John Carpenter. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm like, it's another zombie game, but it looks good. It looks, I don't know, it looks appealing in some way. Scratching that itch kind of thing. Like a co-op zombie kind of, I don't know what it is, man, but everyone at the same time started making like Left 4 Dead games again. Maybe it's just like the era of remakes without being able to call it a remake. I don't know. It doesn't quite look like a remake. Like, yeah, I mean, but yeah. So we've seen a lot of these type of like mass horde zombie games now. Although I don't really know what this is. Is this like just a co-op game, or is this an open world game? Is this just like a level? Toxic Commando, 2024. Okay, so not coming anytime soon. These coming to PC. Huh. Also Game Pass. Huh?
More unexpected collaboration. Sean Carpenter and Saber with Toxic Commando. That looks tons of fun. You guys think any of those zombies made it? I don't know. All right. Well, this August brings the long-awaited full 1.0 release of Baldur's Gate 3. And today, a new member is joining the cast. We're about to see the reveal of Lord Ember Gortash, the commander of a mechanical army of Steel Watchers. He's a second antagonist and is voiced by a familiar name.
I love that. That's awesome. Imagine if you actually turned into Cthulhu.
Swearest thou by Boulder
People wanted like cat girl stuff like that. What if you could turn into that sucker for love type of creature? Okay.
You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete.
Y'all ever get down with Baldur's Gate? Actually, this is a great time. I always watch them. just enjoy.
A new age is upon us. Gods have mercy on those who would stand in our way. A mad dog understands the yank of the leash and the hand of its master, but it cannot be an equal. You can be my equal. There's an old wisdom. A brittle alliance can never be mended. They can only break. I want to lead this city to glory, not scorch its earth.
Friends, allies, to my side. Let us usher in a new dawn. This city is mine.
I'm not ready to call you enemy. What do you say? Shall we be allies? You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Baldur's Gate 3 is on track, Sven tells me, still for the end of August, and we can't wait to check that out. All right, this fall, Marvel Games and Insomniac are set to bring Spider-Man 2 exclusively to PlayStation 5. Sounds like you guys are a little hyped, so to tell us more is Brian Intihar, Game Director at Insomniac. Brian, thanks for coming by. I know you guys are deep
I will not be playing this game because I don't have a PS4.
Like we have some fancy art behind us. Is this the box?
This is the box art. This is, this is it. Here it is. I mean, it has 2 on the box for a reason, because this game features 2 Spider-Men, so we're really excited about it.
Absolutely. Peter and Miles, we're so excited about this experience that you guys are doing with these sort of 2 characters. We saw some great gameplay at the PlayStation Showcase, but I want to talk about the 2 villains, I think, in the game. There may be more.
There are more. There are more out there.
I hope Venom does not become a
we have some new art
generic ass villain.
We obviously Kraven. We got the reveal at the PlayStation event. So tell us a bit about him and how he factors in.
So Kraven's very different from any character we've done. He's not, he's not powered by magic or tech. He's just the best hunter in the world, and he's coming to New York for his greatest hunt. And what's better than all of the Marvel characters that live in New York City? So Peter, Miles, and others, he's on the hunt.
Others?
And others, ...
Yes, yes.
But Venom also, obviously, Symbiote is a part of this whole story, as we saw in the gameplay.
Oh, that looks sick!
Oh, there you go.
God damn!
Good reaction to the art.
I'm glad you're happy.
I don't know how much you're going to tell us about Venom. Is this, can you tell, is this an Osborn Venom? Can you tell, what's the origin of Eddie Brock Venom? Or?
It is not Eddie Brock.
Okay.
It is not Eddie Brock.
Okay.
Our goal was to tell an original story, something you haven't seen in the comics or the movies yet. Obviously, we love Venom for a reason.
Yeah.
All those things you love about the character are going to be there, but how the story plays out, who is Venom, you have to play the game to see.
You didn't mention not like the games or like the movies.
Okay. There's a bit of a tease. Now, obviously, the symbiote is a big part of the gameplay, and one of the things I think we were all struck with the footage that you showed at the PlayStation Showcase was, how that is going to really impact the gameplay when you're playing as, Peter. So tell us a bit about that and how, the gameplay is going to be dramatically different.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw it in just the raw power, the strength, and even the transformation of Peter's moves in that gameplay reveal.
Yeah.
We call him the acrobatic improviser, him and Miles, but you can tell there's a lot more strength, a lot more raw power, aggression, which you saw both in the moves and how Peter talks. So it's not just what happens in gameplay, it's what happens, how the story plays out.
Interesting. So how it affects him as well.
Yeah, I mean, you saw some of that in. There's much more of that journey when you play.
Every AAA game should have a 10-minute video like this that shows you the best representation of what you're going to experience when you're playing. Most games don't do that nowadays, especially AAA games. It's just shit.
So it's Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and then being able to use the web wings to traverse at speeds way faster than they were before is really awesome.
Hugely ambitious game you guys have been building over the past few years. We saw at the PlayStation event, it said at the end, fall 2023, and I think we're getting close to that. Are you guys feeling confident that you're gonna make it this fall?
Jeff, I know you like exclusives.
Yes.
And I can promise you we are very confident what we're going to tell you right now.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look.
I love when the Venom he uses Venom's cords and he hits, because Venom's not just, or Spider-Man's not just doing webs, it's Venom's body matter. He's able to throw it like a steel pipe. He's able to contract the Venom muscle and throw him, which you normally wouldn't be able to do with the thing without pulling them towards you.
Spider-Man 2, exclusively for PlayStation 5.
Got it.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thanks so much for stopping by. I know you got a lot of work to do. Wrapping up the game, and we'll check it out in October. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, I also like the buddy cop feeling of Venom in the movies, the new Venom movies. Even though people have their
take a look at Pal World, a
criticism with them,
open world
I love the
survival
buddy cop
crafting
idea.
game where you can befriend and collect mysterious creatures called Pal, who can also fight. In other words, it's kind of like Pokemon with guns. And then
what?
Then we're going to look at the Land of the Morning Light, a new expansion to Black Desert Online, which recreates the mythical folktales from Korea's Joseon dynasty, and some huge bosses too.
What? Pokemon with guns? Is this the thing that I remember Fluff or somebody was showing us a long time ago? This kind of Pokemon-esque game. Did somebody finally do it? Do the Pokemon, except not just your Pokemon's doing one thing at a time? That is fire, dude. So your Pokemon just have firearms? Okay. This looks very anime, back alley, Steam game, but maybe this is the closest we can get. Nintendo's I'm gonna kill you. 5 of our lawyers are about to meet you, bud. Which is a damn shame. Oh, cute. Is it a weird gacha-esque kind of Pokemon game? We need to be different enough? Or is it an MMO? I don't know what kind of game this is. Palm World. January. Early access. Okay, it's an early access game. But please do not have MTX. What's that? Microtransaction? I don't know. Based on some of them character designs, look a little bit like it could do waifu stuff. What was this one they said again? Am I mic weird? Why do I feel like my sound's all strange? I feel like we've been seeing a lot of these games back to back. I think maybe it only takes one game to say hey, people really dig the Japanese lore and aesthetic. I think Ghost of Tsushima did that pretty much, and now we're seeing the fallout of everyone's version of that type of experience. I still think the one I'm going to like the most is probably going to be the Son of Wukong one. If it can even live up to half of the things they promised. I'll be happy. Anime, people. Anime. It's long. October 20th. Treat myself for a birthday. That'd be awesome. Yeah, good for you. Good.
It is time we told it ourselves.
A dwarf game?
With hammer and axe we mine and scout. Across Middle Earth, delving for riches.
Did they remake that one game? that people like. It's also a dwarf game. It's like an alien, you have guns, you have sets of 4 teams. I kind of dig it. Destructible environments, make bases and shit. Interesting. I feel like it has to be from the same developers. It's a third-person game. Less exciting to me. No, but they showed first person.
My fellow dwarves, rally together. It's time we took back our home.
It's gotta be from the devs that made the other game. The Lord of the Rings. What's with all the Lord of the Rings games being made? I guess Lord of the Rings just giving out their IP. The Gollum game just came out too, and they're like, how the fuck did you get this? God damn, that's a big ass monitor. $250. Or is that incremental payments? Oh. Man. Jesus. A gaming monitor, no console required. What the fuck? This is so fast. How do you read this fast, dude? Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to indoctrinate you, just like flashes, so you get hypnotized.
All right, now we're going to look at an exciting new mobile game from a legendary franchise.
Okay. Please. Genesis something? We still don't know Sephiroth. Oof. Why do they do that to themselves? They give like the most gorgeous setting, like cutscene ever, and then they're like, "You look like you're playing with like Ken dolls that are all exploded, like chunky Ken doll things." Then they showed this. So I guess you can play the whole series now on mobile. Is that what they're doing? Seems like it. Neat. I think DMC might be doing something similar. Cool. It always is hilarious to me when I hear people how much they love these types of games. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called right now, but yeah. And I look at the oldest version of the game, like, ooh, that looks rough. Then you see modern ones, you're like, okay, it looks good still, but damn, a little tough. Some of them. Very emo. Very emo. Final Fantasy, there we go. Thank you, though. What's good, Fluff? It's the more true FF7 remake. Okay.
Pre-registration for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis has just started, and users will have the chance to participate in an upcoming closed beta test. Now, speaking of Final Fantasy... No. Today, during Summer Game Fest, DoorDash has your back. You can get a free burrito when you
Jeff's
order
like, please,
from
please,
Taco
no.
Bell using the code GameFest. Plus, get the chance to win a Final Fantasy 16 prize pack. DoorDash.
Jeff's like, I'm gonna lose the crowd on this one. Fuck it.
We got
Go.
you. All right. Now here's a look at a game we debuted last year at TGA. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, the story of 2 ghost hunters in the haunted wilds of North America.
It's gotta suck if you're an audience member. This guy just turns away from you. You're like, what the fuck?
Life to the living, death to the dead.
Oh, we heard about this one. Yeah, where like your dead wife is like your companion. You're like a necromancer person. Not a necromancer, you're like
we end suffering for those who live.
Yeah, priest type person.
We bring closure to those who don't. I want us back, Red.
Getting some of that God of War kind of close, grounded combat. I like it.
I want to live.
It's a sweaty face.
As the man says, we face a choice.
It's kind of funny because it's very similar to the format of the God of War, of like 2 people. One is the dominant playstyle, and the other one is kind of the supporting combat and character.
Do we kill? To be together again.
Or do we part forever?
Come out, wherever you are. Come on, show yourself.
Red.
Every bloody time.
This is one of the things where the good ending is where you're like, let your wife die or something. There's some horrible one. Like, great, I'm gonna play this game and you're gonna cry at the end, you son of a bitch. Damn you. Oh, is this Fluff, the game Fluff loves. I can't think of it. That is so hard to do. That level of crisscross, fucking wild. I don't know how your knees don't just knock out of place. What's good, Nub? Spread that negativity then, Nub. I'll try to counter it as much as I can.
これから起きることは全部お前らの選んだ結果だ。
That just means I have less work to do. Says no. Dragon 8? Yakuza? Yeah. The rebranded Yakuza, okay. If this game was more anime, like weeb protagonist, like this guy gets thrown into a fantasy isekai world and he's just like this hardened gangster guy, I would be in. Okay? But I don't care that much about like political drama type things to make this a story that I need to experience, you know? Although I've heard it's great. And the combat I heard is amazing. This is why I'm kind of like, damn it. It'd also be awesome to see like a big buff gangster dude just beat the shit out of elves and shit. To nothing.
Change username to just Stan.
Adjusting morning wake up. Good morning, just Stan.
Base to capsule 12.
One of those cry games.
There, Stan. Green across the board. Looks like we're good. Definitely a leak here, Tim.
In the same Journey type vibe. Or Inside kind of vibe. Let me guess, your wife's dead and you're on this planet and you're going to be plagued by seeing her? When you can start getting sea madness? Damn it.
What sort of operation are they running down here? He shouldn't be here. Someone there?
Every underwater game is a horror game like no other, alright?
Someone else down here.
All these games like Alan Wake trying to be survival horror. Put me under the water and I will never play it ever. Okay?
Are you there?
It's such a good indie game, yeah. But it's underwater. I love the water. But fuck that. Fuck that. When you're that deep and it's all shadow around you, fuck no.
It's a beautiful new game, Under the Waves, and today, incidentally, is World Ocean Day. Fun fact. All right, next, Call of Duty. Well, there's a new Call of Duty coming this fall along with Warzone Mobile. Today, we're going to give you the first ever look at Season 4 of Modern Warfare 2 Warzone launching next week. Here's your first look at Vondel, a new Warzone location with points of interest, including a medieval castle, a soccer stadium, and an abandoned zoo. Yeah, it's all happening. Check it out. Here you go.
Video games. You know what the fucking thing is? I feel like if I played this game, because I haven't played a Call of Duty in like fucking 10 years probably, I feel like I would love it. I feel like I'd have a great time. I just haven't played it in a while. And you know what you're gonna get, you know? You're gonna get that fast time to kill probably. There's gonna be that one 14-year-old Korean boy just wrecking everyone on the map and you hate yourself because you can't even compete anymore and you were kind of good at one point and now we're just absolutely washed out. And it's, you know, just, yeah. Back in my day, we didn't have skill-based matchmaking, so you'd have 3 infant children that you could just destroy in a multiplayer match, and then you'd have, again, the 2 weird freaks who are just incredibly good at the game, just dominating everyone else, which at least then you'd be able to also shoot the, infantile children who can't, defend themselves because they're playing or whatever. They have too much time to play. And yeah, and then eventually those people would get good, and then they would kill you too, and it's a whole thing. But I fucking hate skill-based matchmaking, or at least let me choose. Like, why have a competitive one? The other matchmaking is also competitive. It's skill-based too. It's just stupid. Look at that fucking bun. Look at those buns. Damn.
Season 4 next week. Today is a big day for video games, but also a huge day for Porsche. The iconic German automaker turned 75 years old today. And to celebrate their contributions in the automotive and gaming space, and we've all raced a 911 in some point at a game, Xbox has teamed up with Porsche for a limited
Immortals,
edition
yeah,
run
that game,
of
I'm excited for that one too. It looks
75
awesome.
Inspired by 6 famous Porsche race cars. And I'm thrilled to debut the first design here today.
It's a car game. I could talk over it. I'm sorry, I didn't realize
this weekend at the 100th
I know,
running
if
of
you
the
guys want to
24
talk about the car, I don't know anyone in the chat that cares about car games. Let's lower the chat a little bit. I want to talk about that. I've never got to talk to you guys about Immortals. I wanted to put that on a list to talk about on Sunday, but I completely forgot. That game looks extremely interesting, man. One of the things that I'm worried about, though, is that there's so much bloom, like so much physics nonsense on screen. And I don't know why they don't just let you, like, when you look in the general area of an enemy, they just outline the enemy in red. Because I think I've seen other games do that relatively easily. So I don't know why they don't do that, just so they can kind of fight back the absolute monstrosity of, like, physics and explosive things happening. But it looks awesome. Yeah. If that's the game we're talking about, which it might not be.
Here it is. The Porsche Xbox Series X. These custom consoles are not for sale, but you can enter for a chance to win one right now at PorscheXboxSweepstakes.com. Make sure to stay tuned for the Porsche and Xbox social channels for additional opportunities to get your hands on these special consoles. All right, next. Phoenix Labs are building the next great entry into the cozy farm sim genre. We all like a cozy game inspired by classics like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. Previously announced for Nintendo Switch,
I'd be
there's
like,
now
Don't
some
Starve.
exciting news for PC players too. Let's take a look at Fae Farm.
Nub says, Grin, you'd be excited for any game at this point because you get hyped for everything. Nub, you don't know me in the slightest. I'm hopeful for every video game, but I very rarely have excitement for a lot of games. I just think like, oh, I can see how this could be fun for somebody, you know? But most games I'm not that excited for. I think, oh, that's neat, but I'm never gonna play it at all. I've seen 90% of these games. Mortal Kombat, never gonna play it, never, ever. I'll watch people play it and I'll fucking retweet it and shit. I love that, but I'm not gonna play it. But to me, I'm like, hey, this is cool. I could see a person showing me a version of this game without me having to play it that I could enjoy, you know?
We can face anything.
Burnout Paradise 2, please? God, that's been on everyone's list for such a long time. I haven't ever played the first one, but I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. It looked very fun for the time. Especially with all the racing games that no one's ever captured that same seemingly resonant feeling that Burnout gave people. It's pretty stupid. Why didn't they remade it or something?
We promised variety. There it is. Fae Farm and Mortal Kombat in the same show.
You're interested in that
Only
game?
at Summer Game Fest. Now, please welcome Ben Brode, Chief Development Officer and flannel enthusiast at Second Dinner, the developers behind the popular collectible card game Marvel Snap. What's up, Ben?
Marvel Snap card
Man, you
game.
guys have been on fire. Last time I saw you was at the Game Awards when you won Best Mobile Game. Seems like you've been very busy. We're excited about the Spider-Verse content you've been doing. Lots going on over there, right?
Yeah, it's been exciting. We've been doing a bunch of new features, some of the wildest cards we've ever made, and
damn, look at
some new game modes. Yeah.
Yeah, new game. Is
I
that a
fucking did
segue?
coke before
Ben?
coming here, man.
Certainly, yeah. I'm excited to announce Marvel Snap's biggest update ever. We have a new game mode coming
That guy's
next
like,
week.
he was a
It's
wrestling
Conquest mode. It's
promoter
a
in
great
a kind of
to get a
his
super
past
competitive
life.
experience and some exciting new rewards. But you don't have to wait till next week. If you haven't tried Marvel Snap, go download it right now on your mobile device or early
Maybe he
access on
has to
Steam.
be because he's talking about
I
a card
love the
game.
enthusiasm,
I mean, it's
Ben.
not the most flashy thing.
That's what I got.
That's you. You're made for YouTube. All right. Well, we heard you brought something fun with you for us to watch, right?
Oh, yeah. So, listen. I am incredible at card games, so I often win. But some people, and maybe you've had this experience, Jeff, some people lose.
Yeah.
Definitely a wrestler
And I like to
type
think it's
persona.
because they suck. No offense, Jeff. But sometimes,
Off my stage.
it's because they might just be a little bit
Off my stage,
unlucky.
lowered his voice at the last
Guillotine.
syllable, so it just made it come across even worse. Love that. Off my stage.
Okay, I don't have an ideal hand
No.
of cards here, but
Pro
that's
CD, I
fine.
think it's right.
I'll see what
That's
I
the
draw in future turns. Anyway, let's reveal the first location.
Labuntus 1. Each player destroys their deck.
Okay, I I guess I will work with what I have. I'll play Medusa on location number 2. She gets +2 power. And let's see the next location.
Clover Dangerfield has a 25% chance of destroying your cow.
Okay, well, I mean, 25% isn't that bad. And it's gone. Okay, well, I have some powerful cards in my hand, so I can just wait. Let's see the next location.
The Big Barn. Players cannot play 4, 5, or 6 cost cows.
You gotta be kidding me.
Also, if you don't play a card this turn, you have 0 friends.
No, you're just being mean.
I know, I love Pro Z, but that didn't really feel like it fit the tone of the, like, big trailer, kind of like cute POV shot type thing for TikTok type vibe.
And the world premiere first look at Chapter 4,
I feel like that would do great on
Season
like
3
a
of
different
Fortnite
vibe,
Wilds.
I guess.
Now, if you're looking for the smartest way to level up your gaming this summer, compare top credit cards side by side with NerdWallet and start maximizing your cashback rewards on everything from Wi-Fi to headsets. Now, here's a look at King Arthur Legends Rise, a new cross-platform UE5 game for mobile and PC, a Fantasy Squad RPG adventure that is available to pre-register today.
He makes a lot of good, Pro Z makes a lot of good, like, Nintendo TikTok kind of videos. They're fun when you're, again, I feel like if this is your first experience with him, it's not great because it doesn't fit the format at all, but he's pretty good.
Sacrificed everything to save your kind.
What is this? Oh, is it done? I thought we already seen this before. No. Is it another MMO? There's already 15 that you don't have time to play. But yes.
And you may prove worthy of your legacy.
Everything looks like Lord of the Rings. You know? I like this song. And just like that, this video is copyright claimed. Feels unlucky. King Arthur. Oh, it's a mobile game. All right, well. All right, well. This summer, early access. Play an elf.
Wayfinders.
Oh, this is Fortnite.
Do you remember the fall? The gloom descended on Skylight.
Can you just make another game, Fortnite? I'd play this if it wasn't Fortnite.
Price.
I feel like I'm like getting in at the fucking 40th chapter of the story.
And the world was broken. Remember who you were.
This was like an open world RPG. You have enough money.
Return to us.
Let's make a new division.
This world needs champions.
Have them use the same engine. Make it maybe more anime-y. Wayfinder. Is this a new game? Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like it's just... Oh, it might be. Or is this a season? They said like that a season, become a founder. Play Wayfinder. Oh wait, never mind. This is not Fortnite. Oh, this is the game that Fluff told me about a while ago. Never mind. Alright, looks very Fortnite-y. This is the thing that they made. I was distracted because Keely said that there would be like a season trailer here, but they're just squeezing a bunch of shit on top of that. That looks dope. I'll play that. That looks really cool. Oh, it's a mobile. Yeah, it's a motherfucking mobile game. What are we doing here? Okay. Yeah, bad first impressions thing, promote the phone. Yeah, well,
you don't stand a chance.
I'm honestly, I'm never upset when I see a content creator try to get a bag because it's hard sometimes. Again, you're trying to make good videos and they're like, if you show an ounce of blood in your video, it's gone. And you're like, oh, please.
What did you say, guys? One more game?
Good morning, scavenger.
Is that? Oh, it is. Is that?
No,
it's not. There's that game that looks very similar to this. That looks cool. It's a cute mobile, not mobile. It's a cute space building game. Astroneer, I think this was called. Yeah, Fortnite graphics, but not PvP would be not. Yeah.
Captain's log. Stardate 43152.4.
A Wayfinder isn't primarily PvP. It's a co-op dungeon crawl. Okay, I'm hyped. That's much cooler because I actually love the art style of Fortnite.
We are the Lord. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Cube. What is this? So far, oh, it's like a civilization game. Oh, it's Star Trek. Okay. We've had a lot of games that are like.
Hey there, Summer Game Fest
Yeah.
2023. It's
They're
Will
like,
Arnett here.
this exists, you know?
Yeah.
But they're not like, here's what the game is, and here's what to be
My buddy
excited
Anthony
for.
Mackie and I have been working on this for some time now. We're really excited to share with you Twisted Metal, which is streaming only on Peacock starting July 27th. And I'm very excited to share a sneak peek of the character of Sweet Tooth, who I had the pleasure of voicing. Hope you enjoy it. Check it out.
Who here has a Peacock account? It's okay. I know the answer.
Swung a little wide there. Well, aren't we a tall glass of water? Me? I'm more of a Hawaiian punch. I'm guessing you don't fight much outside of your car now, do you?
Look, Clown, I don't need 4 wheels to kick your ass. Any chance we can get this back in the cars?
How about a little kill music?
I love the production. I'm not sold at all by the story and the characters.
Dumps like a truck. Thighs like what? All night long.
Let me see that thong.
Like it when the beat go? Baby, let your booty go. Girl, you want to show? The thong. Do you love the silver-haired god? Don't lie to me.
Yeah, man. Look, I listened to Unleash the Dragon so many times the disc broke. I'm not a liar.
But you said you were coming to my show, and then you shot at me.
It was a misunderstanding. I've been getting shot at ever since I can remember. It's forced habit, I guess.
Sounds like you have trust issues.
They kind of want me back at the end there. They want me back at the end there, huh? On Peacock, so I'm never watching it, but if it comes to Netflix, I'll watch it. But damn. God damn.
Who hasn't dreamt of duplicating oneself in order to multitask? This new hack and slash
very
game with a
Twisted
tactical
Metal, like, oh,
twist
okay.
allows you to do just that. Brought to you from France, here's the world premiere reveal trailer of Lisfunga, the time
Oh, Peacock
shift
is free. I didn't know that.
coming later this year to PC.
It says, look, Grin, how excited you are about everything. What am I excited for, Nub? I've been a toxic bitch for the whole thing, honestly. I haven't seen one for me in a while. Alan Wake was kind of one.
And fight again alongside
There was another one, I forget what it was.
I'm here again.
Also, Wayfinder did look cool. What? This, I think, looks shit. This looks horrible. There you go, Nub. Are you happy? This looks horrible. Fuck this game. Okay. Go play Diablo or some shit. I don't know. Poor, I feel so bad. This poor indie developer that put his heart and soul in this game. Some rat bastard over in Canada land, being like, oh, it's for somebody. It's not for me. I know that. So then I'm just gonna say, hey, whoever's gonna love this kind of game, do you? I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it was made for a person that likes this type of game. Ain't for me.
And
You know.
crush these demons. Onwards. I can feel that there are more.
Fluff says, wait, no, it used to be free, I guess, Peacock, I
Very
mean, but
cool
now it has a
independent
premium
game.
account
All
access
right,
or
next
show.
up is a
I see.
brand new IP from Ascendant Studios, a
is the
single-player,
best one.
first-person magic shooter called Immortals of Avium. It's fast and fluid.
This
it's
is
an
neat.
FPS in a
I feel like this
fantasy
is gonna be
setting,
fun.
kind of like Doom with magic. It also has a great cast led by Darren Barnett as the main character, Jack, and he joins us now. Hey, Darren.
Hey, guys.
Great to have you
That
with
came
us.
out a little hot.
Thank
too
you.
This
soon.
is such a cool game, super high production value, spectacular gameplay. Tell us about the
Where are we
guy
playing
you
this?
play. You're the main character, Jack, right?
Yes, I am playing the main character, Jack, as seen behind me. He is a battle mage that controls all 3 forms of magic, triple threat. He's brash, he's funny, but he gets the job done.
Well, it's the gameplay, as we've seen, is just so fast-paced. There's so much action in it, you know, with all the spells.
Need
the
a way
spellcasting
for you
and
to
the
see
magic.
past the
What can you tell us
elemental
about the
bloom,
story
but
and sort of how
otherwise
this
looks
battle
fire.
mage Jack comes in? He sort of becomes a battle mage, right?
Yeah, he kind of comes from nothing. He's I guess they call him a street rat is what he was. But he, during a time of intense trauma, he summons the power to control magic, becomes part of the Immortals, which is like the elite Navy SEAL squad of this world called Avium, and they are in the middle of an ever war fighting for the control of magic.
Okay.
Good summary.
You
It's
have
really
a
good
great
summary.
cast. You, Gina Torres in it. Lots of amazing actors in this incredible, really high production value game that's coming out this summer. We don't have to wait long for it. And I know you brought something with you to share today, which is a gameplay sequence, which is one of the most epic sort of parts of the game, right?
Yeah. So this is a wild part of the game. This trailer is going to be showing you the Immortals and myself confronting Sandrak directly, who is the top villain of this game, and trying to end the Everwar. And it's taking place in like one of the most badass levels of a video game I've seen. We're battling on top of a 400-foot mech in the middle of the ocean as it moves around. It's wild, so let's take a look.
All right, let's take a look at some brand new gameplay from Immortals of Avium, which comes out this summer for PC, PS5, and Xbox. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
I stand by what I said about the isometric game. And not for me, all right? But I'm sure people will. I feel like I could have fun with it. Anyway, notice how much bloom in there is here, but it looks cool. Again, I feel like I love the idea of like magic. Like I want this to exist in a lot of games. The FPS, like again, I think bullets are boring basically at this point in my lifespan. So magic in different forms they could take, heat seeking and all that stuff. I love it. I'd rather have that. Unfortunately, this is a very linear experience. This is just a story game. When you're done, you'll be done.
Northeast,
5 knots. Yeah. But you have like 3 types of magic. You switch to them based on the enemy color, and they'll nuke you faster, though you can just use the same thing. You have a giant skill tree, though, which is weird. It has all the tenets of like a live service / RPG type of game that you'll play for a long time, which you probably will. It's a long story, apparently. But yeah. There's like a lot of big set pieces. Dude, if this was in VR, I would fucking clean my pants. It'd be sick. Imagine holding that up in VR, little tiny indie man talking to you.
Got it. Gotta get to the control.
Ooh, big ass set pieces. Kind of giving me a headache a little bit, just seeing how big that is. There's a clipping issue right there. This looks fun. Like you're nuking people. I'm happy that it looks like they've increased the time to kill. But the first time we seen it, I seen like dude just throwing 1,000 spells at someone and then not dying. I was like, ugh. But this looks like they increased the time to kill, which is good. I think it's based on your elements though. So you'll drop an enemy if you happen to be using the right element. There's blue, green, and red. They're not necessarily consistent with like fire, water, and not like that. It's like one's like time or force. It's weird, but neat. So you have your like base gun mechanic, and then you have like a utility effect. A special effect, which is neat. You can like stun an enemy, make them take more damage by putting little nodes on them. Things like that. I watched Moxie. He's like a Borderlands build guy. He's amazing. He got to play this game early, and it was cool seeing him play. It's also cool seeing a real person play this game, which is just like dive bombing enemies and like throwing 1,000 spells in their face and then moving on, rather than being like, let me use this one ability that's not very good. Instead, everyone just uses like the sniper shot that just kills a person instantly if you get a headshot. Yeah, the force, power, chaos. Yeah, makes sense. I think that's right.
I want to be an immortal. I want to fight this war as one of you.
You're what's called
When I think of mage, I think of face tats.
The
Not being
has
funny, by the way.
gifted you with the
Yeah, Fable did that to me.
manifest all 3 colors of magic.
I do think I'll just be using the blue power probably. Either that or the green.
We're going to win this one together.
Red seems like it's a melee type vibe. July 20th. Holy shit, is that? Oh, it's next month, I think.
Love that we get to show you guys so much amazing raw gameplay today, and that game looks incredible. Coming out this summer from Ascendant and EA. Now, one game that constantly reinvents itself is Fortnite. And tomorrow, Chapter 4 Season 3 Wilds launches. And today, Summer Game Fest is debuting the cinematic trailer to preview the season. The center of the island has collapsed, revealing a vast, hidden jungle with ancient secrets to discover. And of course, there's a whole new Battle Pass lineup where you can unleash the power, yes, of Cybertron. Here we go.
Who wants to play? Yay! RGB, 3 times the magic. So we've got a gaming PC on it. Yeah, a little bit. It's a big ass, big ass thing. Green one is more like a Gatling gun. Yeah, it's like a fast firing machine gun. They all have the kind of like similarity. I think the blue is more of like a revolver. The what do you call it? The green is more of like a Gatling gun, and then the red is more of a. I thought it was like a melee, like a closer, like a shotgun. I guess is the best way to put it, like a fire shotgun, which is neat. But I think you can get mods on them that change them to not just be a generic version of a gun spell, you know. I see the Transformers trailer. I think like a bird that looked like a robot, and it was weird. A thumbnail of it at least, and I was like, huh, okay. You're playing a pint-sized Optimus. Optimus Prime, not Optimus. I'm just glad the Beast Wars is not the is not with Transformers. Honestly, okay. The story is just however they can incorporate as many licenses as possible. Yeah.
Well, finally, guys, it's time to get to
because when
our
I think
grand
of
finale.
runes, I think
And
of
it is a deep
super
honor for me
advanced
to present this
alien
game. What you're about to
mechanized
see
creature.
is a world premiere trailer that gives us a new look at an expansive world we can't wait to explore
World
again.
premiere? We haven't had that many of
This
these.
game comes from a studio that surprised the world and redefined the RPG genre with its iconic characters and rich storytelling. And I want to thank them for this trailer for one of gaming's most anticipated upcoming releases.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma, maybe? So it's not a world premiere.
Rumors were true.
What?
We're still here
What?
to see
I didn't
this
hear him.
terrible disaster caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2.
I'm still not a part of this.
Amidst the wreckage of the
Oh,
expressway,
that's a
search and
Final
rescue
Fantasy.
operations are already
Okay.
in progress.
The unknown journey continues.
Wow.
Is it a world premiere? I thought people knew that we were going to get another version or another
It's
chapter.
so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
Discount Charizard, okay. Okay.
I was wondering,
We have Charizard at
what's
home,
Cloud been doing
honey.
these past 5 years? Where's he been?
And you're asking me this?
This is gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know,
This is Dragon's Dogma.
Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
That world premiere threw me out. I was hoping to be Dragon's Dogma.
The life stream. It is the very essence of our star. The blood coursing through its planetary veins.
According to Hojo,
appears to be
they're
rebirth.
connected
Oh,
to
okay.
Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them.
Don't shit talk, Red
Sephiroth is in
XE.
Midgard.
I don't know who that is. I don't play these
fought
games.
Whatever happened.
He's the bestest boy. Okay. Okay.
Why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what?
Oh, the internet has ruined Tifa so badly. Especially a 3D model of her, okay?
Angered it more like.
Fighting Colossuses. Wolfie dog. Kind of looking like a three different animals combined. Hyena, tiger.
She may be new, but she's still a
More
turtle.
things. What is it about these games that love throwing like the cleanest suit you'd ever seen in an area that is filthy? I guess it's a world of magic, so like I guess it's possible. Damn. These games look awesome in terms of the bigness. I can't get down with the gameplay, man. I'm hoping that the new Final Fantasy game won't have gameplay seemingly like similar to this, where it seems pretty locked in. I know it's not as locked in as it used to be. It still feels... I can't convince myself that it'll be... I'm sure if I play it, I'll like it. On a surface level, it doesn't look fun.
They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul, that she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be a third one after this. I remember hearing that a long time ago. They have to be broken into 3 parts. And God damn.
You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
Get the trilogy read. This one I'm hyped for. Oh, okay. It says loan. Okay.
There you have it. That was Final Fantasy VII
Trilogy
Rebirth
pack will
coming
cost,
early
yeah.
2024 to PlayStation 5. Nomura-san, thank you so much. All right,
Oh.
that's going to do it for
That-
Summer Game Fest, our live showcase. But that is not the end of Summer Game Fest. Stay tuned this weekend.
We had
for
some
updates on many
gameplay
more
trailers.
games during SGF Play Days, a hands-on event for
gameplay
media here in Los
trailer.
Angeles, including Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, as well as the Xbox and Bethesda showcase on Sunday. Right now, though, stay tuned for Day of the Devs from IM8-Bit and Double Fine, which celebrates the independent game culture with a number of new game reveals over the next hour. We'll see you this summer, later this summer on August 22nd for Gamescom opening night live in Germany, and again in December when we come together here in Los Angeles to celebrate 10 years of the Game Awards. Thanks for watching, everyone.
We still
See you
have
soon.
Xbox's fucking Ubisoft's conference on Sunday and Monday, I think. Sunday and Monday. So we'll do that. I want to talk to you guys about some shit before we completely wind down. So I have to go use the washroom, but we'll get to it in a minute, and we'll mute it, and we'll get to that, and then we'll do one of these. And we'll talk about some stuff, what we just seen, and also just hang out, because we kind of, again, the Game Awards are awesome, but it's just packed full of like fun video, and I can't really speak as much because I want to talk to you guys. So I'll be right back. I use the washroom. Alrighty. Well, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've got some people here, I want to pick your guys' brain about some stuff, but I have to vent to you real quick, man. These last couple days, I've been spent. I did, VR just takes it out of you. When you exercise 3 times a week and then also you do VR, there's no way to recover. I was spent, man. I've been playing a lot of VR games. Doing a video of mine, Bone Lab. And then I want to do a video on mine, Battle Talent is what it's called. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I think that game I showed you last Sunday on Twitch, Battle Talent, might be my favorite VR game by a lot. That game is so good. It's absurdly good. It has everything I almost want from a VR game in terms of its physics engine, its melee stuff, the crazy weapons it has. There's a weapon that is literally a giant guitar straight out of Brutal Legends, which you can play. It's powerful. It feels satisfying. The combat is super engaging. The arrows and archery and all that stuff feels great. You can play it for an hour going through a dungeon. It feels like you're actually playing. I don't know why I haven't heard more about this game called Battle Talent. It is insane. It is so good. It's probably my favorite VR game. When I played Last of Us, or not Last of Us, sorry, when I played Half-Life Alyx, I played all those games. I still stand by that right now. This game is panning out to be one of the best games ever, so I can't wait to show it to you tomorrow. That's when we'll be doing our VR stream, because I want to keep that in the loop, I guess. And then Saturday we'll be having our hangout, and then we'll be immediately going into Sunday and Monday stream for both Xbox and Ubisoft's stuff. But yeah, let me catch one chat. Tifa should get her own game. Yeah, probably. I could see that, people buying that. I still cry when I play Crisis Core. Red says, oh, I did play Dredge Cerberus, but did not complete it. The controls and gameplay were greatly annoyed me. Okay. Tifa has been great, and she deserves as much recognition for her induction into the Italian Senate. Okay, I see. Tifa should get her own game. Dredge is the worst game out of the bunch, but canonically was the final of the original trilogy. I hope we'll see some Final Fantasy reps in Tekken 8, likely to see Clive and 16, but I always would love to see Tifa. I see. You'd also like to see Tifa. Gotcha. Nub says, out of all the Final Fantasy stories, I think my favorite one is still Strangers of Paradise. Okay, I missed the entire Final Fantasy bandwagon, man. That was my exactly in that time period was me like running around the cul-de-sac with my friends and like doing all this other shit, going to parks and whatnot. I just missed that like gap in gaming quite a bit. I hear so many people talk with reverence for it, and then I see the gameplay and I'm like, that looks cool, but it doesn't sync up for me. You know, I don't know. Not that it doesn't look great. It's just that like I feel like if I were to get into it, I could probably get into it, but it doesn't make me excited, I guess, which is weird because it looks great. It looks like it has all the things I kind of want, you know? Granted, that's why I like the new Final Fantasy game coming out. It looks more neat with like Efreet and all that stuff. Ooh. Love says I watched a playthrough but never played it. Oh, I'm curious what do you call it? Nub and Fluff. What did you guys think about the whole Apple situation? This whole thing. What do you guys think about this Apple headset? What were the things that you thought were cool? What were the things that you weren't so positive about, or you thought were pretty shit? Outside of the price and the creepy eyes, because I feel like that's kind of an easy W. I mentioned this before at the beginning of the stream though, but I think this is like a textbook example of what Apple is doing extremely well. Well, first of all, what do you guys think this is going to be used for? What do you think this super wholesome, super good little peek into 3D memories that is filmed in a POV perspective, what do you think that's going to be used for? Do you think it's going to be used when you're having an intimate family moment and this headset's five feet away from you and you're going to have to grab it, turn it on, pick the app, and then by that point the fucking moment's gone? Or do you think it's going to be used for something else? Didn't say I played it. I did a higher priority on the list. Fluff says it's an overpriced Apple product. Nub says I wasn't here for the headset. That's all I care about. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it's gonna be like that for sure. But I kind of dislike when I hear people say like this is dystopian, like Black Mirror. I get it, but this is no different than an old man sitting on a park bench with a picture of his wife waiting to die because he misses her so much. Both sad, but also weirdly touching and romantic in the same sense. Yeah, I don't think this is as like, we already have this kind of fucking dystopian type of thing if you make it that way, so I don't feel like that's a turn. But I feel like this is one of the most brilliant moves that Apple made. The idea that if you buy this heavily expensive headset, you are going to be able to make extremely good, like basically there's not a very good version of like VR videos out right now. Very few things can actually achieve the feeling of depth. Most of the time, if you go to YouTube and you look at VR content and you have a VR headset, it's just weird. It's just like hyper strange. It almost feels like you're in like a globe with images like wallpaper pierced out around you. It doesn't actually give you depth in any way. This will do that. Yes, Harada, a prawn will definitely be a version of that. But the fact that you could get this and then produce this type of content, you could go to a concert wearing these goofy things and show people the experience of what that could be like and actually perceive the 3D depth, which makes VR special. You could also do that with going hiking. You could also do that with riding a bike through a mountain trail. You could also go do that in Hawaii and just walk on a trail and see beautiful stuff all around you, that kind of thing. So I think this is extremely clever for just giving anyone this potential power to make experiences that then they could share with other people. This, I think, will bolster out the VR kind of experience community, I guess. As far as everything else, I think it's pretty sick. I think Apple did a really good job where Meta just keeps eating shit and failing terribly with selling the excitement and possibilities that something can generate. The idea that you could be watching a video and actually have like 3D movies feel even more 3D, which is such a good use case for the interest and value that VR gives you, which is the feeling of depth that I keep mentioning. The feeling that you're actually in that space is really neat. Yes, the price tag is ludicrous. I get that. 100% that's correct. These are things that, like, yeah, obviously this is ridiculous. But the idea that if this technology keeps getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, to me that's like a really interesting thing. Also, just the idea. Also, yes, there's like some sort of creepy, we're not there yet type of stuff. But I totally think, I totally think Apple's strategy is they're going to release this headset. It's going to be really overpriced. But little by little, there's going to be apps. There's going to be prawn. There's going to be movies and stuff developed for this. There's going to be sports things. There's maybe even going to be some games. Netflix was talking about wanting to get into gaming. And this, to me, would be exactly how they would do that. And I think little by little, I think people are already interested in this. They're not interested in the like application of having to drop $3,000 on it. But I think if somebody said, I would give this to you for $300, would you do that? I think there would be a giant group of people that would at least be interested in that. People are interested in what this weird thing is. I think if you fast forward a couple years, like a year and a half after Apple has been like, you see video after video, content creator, whatever, maybe whatever, these little things, little by little, it's going to start to make people start to be like, maybe I could spend it, maybe I could do something if they keep giving value to apps, experiences, and things like that. Now, no one's going to drop $3,000 on this, but I think with them doing this, where they release the highest possible ceiling of this, and they throw out a bunch of experiences so you're constantly tempted, I think the actual price of what the non-pro version is going to be is still going to be basically a really expensive top-of-the-line headset, which is around $1,500. That's the highest possible threshold that you can get for the lenses and for all these things. So I think that's what they're going to do, and that's still pretty fucking expensive in the VR space. But I think over the year, they're just going to keep drip feeding you that like these new experiences, these new things, these new videos, all this stuff, to where people are eventually going to be like, But I don't think Apple is ready for what essentially is going to come when Google, Samsung, all these other companies that operate within an Android, Linux, or whatever kind of system are also looking to make this exact thing right now. So that could be really fun. And again, no one needs this shit. Like the headset that I was, I had so much stuff to say, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm not reading a chat. I'm just trying to finish my thought. But the one thing that I thought, as soon as I seen this headset, I thought it's all really awesome. I love the eye tracking. I love the fact that you could put this on and you would be in this world. I love that. I think this looks awesome. I like being able to sit and like see this giant stadium-like experience, being on a lake where this floating canvas is floating above it. 4K displays with amazing refresh rate, 120. Fucking lit. It sounds awesome to me. Especially with me, who has a tinier room and stuff like that. That just sounds mad cool. Like the application for this, I think, was awesome. Is anyone spending $3,000? Hell no. No one who's not into this or can't, or doesn't have that excess money staying around, they're not going to do that. But I kind of lost what I was going to say. Something to the effect of just that I think people are going to be getting into this space eventually, and that's going to drive down the price. Oh no, that's what it was. So it's more about like the things that I don't need. So Right now, a lot of the stuff I find interesting, the eye tracking, the hand tracking, all that stuff is neat, but I don't need stuff that's going to increase the price to $1,000 some odd dollars. I don't need this to be LED. I don't want people to see my fucking eyes. I don't need, what do you call it, like the 16 speakers and shit in the headset. I don't need that. This is why I'm interested for this headset called Sumeron, something like that. Which could either be an amazing product or a scam, because it's got some weird crypto stuff in there. I don't know. But what they do with that product, which is the VR headset that I was telling you guys about, is they let you take away items that you don't want. Oh, you don't want to do pass-through because you're only going to be using this for VR experiences? Great. We'll take off the camera pass-through so that it ends up being cheaper. We'll take away eye tracking if you don't want eye tracking. We'll take away there's another thing, like a hand tracking. We'll take away that as well if you don't want that, and that'll make it cheaper. So you get the version of this that you actually want to use it for, which could lower the price down to not be $1,000, but instead maybe something that's still going to be expensive. I think it's still probably going to be like around $700, which is still a good bit. But it's also the best value for what you could get right now for those things, especially for the highest quality of those things, like lenses that are giga crazy and high quality, that kind of stuff. But no, I think it's neat. The reason I'm not playing it also, by the way, is because there's Apple, as some stuff where people saying Apple's been striking down videos, so I'm not trying to get lit up here. But anyways, let me catch up and see what you guys thought. I just see it. Nub said, "I love prawn." Nub says, "Grin, you're asking a person that has 2 terabytes of Harada." I know, but the reason why I love that, dude, is just because everyone collectively, I hear this in every reaction where everyone's seen that image of like, oh my god, you'll be able to like capture memories that you've seen from your perspective with depth and clarity. Oh my god, with the same sound element that it was like in experiencing it in real time. And then they show like your kids playing skip rope or some shit, and then everyone was collectively like, like, yeah, people can use it to film their kids or something, right? Yeah, that. But the underlying thing there of being you could actually film experiences that people are interested in. Yes, Harada is one of them, but it's also like going to like these beautiful Norway kind of countries that are beautiful when like in summertime, and walking down this trail as it's just gorgeous, and being able to sit there in VR and kind of feel that. You're not sure if you should go to a concert or something like that, but you see a thing on social media that shows that a POV version of what it's like to be in that concert with the depth and etc., with the sound design and all that stuff, sucking it into the headset, and then you're just taking all that in. That'd be rad. Lone says, "Dang, I'd love to beat me to it." We all know what it's gonna be. Says Lone. Love says, "Apple is notorious for planned obsolescence. I can't say the word. I don't like the idea of something being $350 when it's bound to be replaced in a year or two." Yeah, man, but I think the reason why people are so excited for this, the day that this conference went live, like 15 other people came forward to say that like Sony and Google are both moving like fucking crazy fast to do the same thing. And of course, they're not going to make it, I think, as expensive. But yeah, and also I think they're not going to have all the crazy bells and whistles, like having the fucking eyes be see-through and shit like that. Also, yeah, to me it kind of weirdly makes sense, because your phone is becoming more and more like giga crazy processing, that why wouldn't you just make it so that you could have infinite scale, essentially? That way there's no longer a debate of like whether you're going to have a big phone or an iPad or this or that. You'll still have that, of course, but yeah. It costs nearly twice as much as my new PC. Yeah, no, again, you cannot win on the cost argument at all unless you are going to make content of it. And even then, you have to like, I don't know if anyone's going to be like, yeah, I feel like you have to wait until there's applications and content for you to buy that thing. Like if you buy it right now expecting that there's going to be a lot of things to make videos of and launch of, yeah, that's crazy. Also, I'm not getting one, just to be clear. Unless I can figure something out, but I'm not going to buy it. Yeah. Nub says, "I love prawn." Fluff says, "This isn't a real example of what those goggles can do. It's just a proof of concept or trailer." You know, I don't disagree with that, but that's the one thing that Meta has failed every single time at, I think. Meta has failed to sell the excitement that VR can possibly be. Every time they show a version of it, it's just goofy. And also, people said that they actually got to try the headset on this stage floor, and they said it actually worked like they showed. They said that KBHD and all these people said that the movement and all that stuff was crazy responsive. So people saying that this is a proof of concept thing. Apparently, they had 12 people basically trying these, and none of them said that it ever flared up in a negative way. Does that mean it could fail or not deliver on what it's promised? Absolutely not. It could still fail in that way. But it's just, to me, the idea that people are saying this is not going to be anything like they've shown. I don't think that's true either. I'll have an Apple. Let me catch up. Red says this thing will be dropped by Apple soon after launch. DOA probably for most people. I don't think so, Red. I very much think Apple is playing the absolute long game, especially with everything that I've seen. I would bet money that they don't drop on this, actually, which I never feel confident about anything. But just seeing the thing that they put in there is the thing that to me gets crazy. Like the fact that they gave people the ability to share experiences, the fact that they gave they have like a crazy amount of developer tools. There's already people in the VR space that are trying to do stuff like this. I don't think this is going to be replaced. Whether people are able to capture the interest that the product could generate, that's a different story. Whether people are even developers are even interested in making stuff, which it seems like they already are. Yeah. And it's funny because I think Apple's playing this much safer bet. It's a lot easier to sell people an amazing experience in a TV show or something like that than gaming. Gaming is a lot of work. Gaming, you have to get up, you have to move, you have to download things. It's a whole thing. It's not easy to do. So I feel like Apple's just doing a safe bet, I guess, doing the thing that most people can rationalize. Oh, I'll put on a headset and I'll just sit on my couch and watch some crazy stuff. And I'll put on this headset and I'll jerk off or some some shit like that. I don't think the idea that I'm going to get up and then have to move around with these controllers and this and that, I feel like is a much harder sell. Love says Apple products are terrible, bad PCs, bad mobile devices. Yeah, but they're also $1 billion company. So someone keeps buying the stuff for a reason. So I think regardless, the Apple usually starts the trend of something, and then other people kind of get on the bandwagon and then make a better version of what they did. But arguably, a lot of what Apple has done has shown people what people are interested in, and then other people just make versions of that said thing. I don't think that's even arguable at this point. Nub says, no, I don't think you get it. The price tag is the only problem. Yeah. Well, that's what I figured for a lot of people as well. Especially, I've seen a video by an amazing VR channel called Thrill. Thrill Seeker is his whole channel, but he basically made the point of people keep thinking this VR headset is competing with normal VR headsets, and it's not. There's a headset that costs $7,500, and it's doing the worst version of what Apple has just shown. So it's showing pass through, but it's super jaggy and jacked up a little bit. It's but it shows you that was selling really well. So people are that excited for pass through as just a niche market that they're willing to spend $7,000 on this crazy fucking product. So Apple's basically just gave them a crazy deal of I know it sounds crazy, but $3,500, which they were already spending. So they're not competing with the Metas of the world. They're competing with this specific type of headset that's already existed and people have already bought for absurd money. And it's 16 times better than that. Again, it's weird, but it's the whole perspective thing. But yeah, I definitely agree that the price tag is what most people are like, this is too much. What would be the price that you guys would be willing to spend on that, given the range of headsets are anywhere from $300 to $1,500. That's the barometer of VR headsets right now that are not super niche, crazy militarized headsets that cost $5,000 because they're meant to be used in warfare. Pawns couldn't save. Let me see. This is the conversation I've been wanting to have with you guys the whole week. So sorry if I'm really getting down and dirty with all of it. Let's catch up on stuff. Apple Fluff says, I'll have the Apple VR headset 1 to 2 years from now. I know, I agree. That's most people's perspective. I think a year and a half we'll get the standard, like the tier 1 below it. And at that point, I think there'll be a lot of apps to mess around with. A lot of experiences that have stacked on top of each other and compounded, like TV shows and things to actually validate you getting it. And then I think you'll have a choice between getting a lot of it. Like you could choose Google's, you could choose Samsung's, which is probably going to be the same thing. It's going to be a collaboration probably. And then you could get Apple's or whatever. But yeah. Grin, Red says, Grin, are you forgetting that it's $3,500? No, I know. I just say $3,000 because it's not. I don't want to say $3,500. $3,500. I just want to say $3,000. It's just fast. I know it's $3,500. To me, it's like if you're willing to spend $3,000 on a headset, I don't think the $500 is going to cripple you. I think you're already in that fucking crazy banger market. Yeah. It's like when someone says you've won $1 million, you're like, what? And then when someone says you've won $1 million and $100,000, or however you'd say that in proper sequence, I think at that point the numbers are so high that people can't even comprehend. It's already a lot. It's like so much to even comprehend, you know. No, I don't think you get it. It's only a price tag. And the worst thing is people will buy it up happily every year. Yeah, well, I don't know if happily. I think $3,000 is still a thing. I do think Apple is gonna, especially with the software, the App Store, with influencers and all those things, I do think they're gonna drip feed it. I do think they're gonna make people in the back of their brain see something that is interesting to you as a person. It could be gaming, it could be YouTube videos, it could be TV, it could be harada, it could be whatever. Something that is interesting enough to you, and they're going to continue to drip feed that to you, to where that extremely big price tag is going to feel less and less extreme, and then the still extreme price tag that's going to be the non-pro version is going to make people buy. Maybe not you guys, but I think the mass group of people who buy Apple products already, I think that's going to be what it is. And I think for people who want to like customize and do stuff like that, I think there'll be the Google Linux version of what all these kind of companies do. If you want that. So I think everyone at the end of the day will get fed because there's going to be a demand, I think. I think the reason why I say there's going to be demand is I think Apple has proven that they can sell like a lamp worth $4,000 or something stupid. They can sell a fucking headset that does actually something, that doesn't just light up the room, you know? So like they've sold a time to a clock, so to speak. so they can do that. Nope says Apple will never make it cheaper. I don't believe that at all, especially considering it's the Pro version. So the idea that the people say the reason why they put Pro, was it Starlight Pro or whatever it's called, is because they're going to make a non-Pro version that's going to be cheaper. And how much? That's the question. I think that's going to be based on how much they can inch people closer and closer to being kind of okay with $3,000, which is insane to say. But yeah. Nub says, no, don't let Netflix make games. They can barely make movies and shows. I agree. Mac barely gets game support. Yeah, no. I think eventually they're gonna partner with Steam. I think that's definitely what they're gonna be doing. There was actually rumors about them talking to Steam when this whole gaming headset Apple stuff was coming out, and they said that they've had communications with them for a while. Especially since Linux is what things like Steam Deck is on. Oh, let me catch up. I jumped ahead too much. Nub says Linux gets more game support than Mac at this point. And then they do, it's upward half decade after the game has been released, been played out, especially since Linux is what things like Steam Deck run on. Valve whole core market is making things work with gaming in mind. I was gonna say that also, Fluff. I heard a take from the whole VR headset perspective, and I thought it was such a good perspective, which was Valve for such a long time never wanted to make a cheaper headset. The Valve Index is $1,000, give or take, if not more. They never wanted to make a cheaper headset, so I think everyone was like, they're salivating now that they can finally keep pushing beyond it. But they were already given a lot of shit by making such a, like, what do you call it, an expensive type of product. But yeah, I think now they're like, well, actually, we have a $2,000 headset that we've been waiting to release for a long time now, but we thought people would fire back at us and, you know, boycott Steam, which would ruin the billions of dollars we make a month. So we just chose not to do it. But now there's so much excitement here, maybe now's the time. Let's see. Valve's whole quarter. Nub says the only thing Mac had going for it, professionally use, and now even that it can't compete against Windows now. Yeah, but no, people still buy all those games. So people always, it's always to me it's the same thing as like. It frustrates me when it's not a full picture of what the actual situation is. So when I see like videos where people talk about how shit this movie is, like I remember back in the day when I was watching like podcasts where they were talking about movies. These like people who love movies, are super educated about movies. They would always review this TV show. Like I remember I watched one where they reviewed Venom, and I was always frustrated because they would shit all over it. And meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, this movie is gonna make a lot of money because it's fun. And basically that's what I mean. There's a disconnect between the Oscar art of like film, and then there's what people actually buy and why they buy it. I think both are very important. I think you kind of need both, but I tend to err more on like, well, why do so many people accept this? And again, KBHD makes a great point where like Apple has just made this like weird walled garden of FaceTime and all of these applications that's super easy to use. They know exactly how much the consumer is like, I don't want complication. I just want something that's simple, easy, go. Like their autofocus is crazy on their phones and all these things. So I think that's also an element of like people just don't want to deal with the complexity of a Android phone and all these things. Fluff says Valve's or whatever that Apple is all overpriced things that are replace frequency. Fluff says it's too good to be true. And this is just a trailer and not a real example of what actually looks like to wear those headsets. I mean, again, based on all the people who experienced it, people were getting crazy. And these are people who usually don't just ride Apple's dick, like at least in my experience. So yeah, and they were saying that it was like extremely good, like the best AR they've ever experienced, the best VR they've ever experienced, which I was like, oh shit, okay. And I don't disagree. Like there are things that work really well on Apple. Now you can't do everything on Apple, but it does work really, really well. You can wear a Quest or any VR headset that puts you into a simulated theater. Yeah. To me, seeing not at a 4K display with a crazy high refresh rate like that, so much so to where you can actually, like, if you ever tried to do desk work whilst with VR, you need a really great VR expensive headset to actually read text even remotely close. So that's why like the Meta Quest Pro never catched on, not only because of the price tag, but also just because it was didn't do what people wanted it to do. It was hard to use. I don't want pass-through process to bush his head into this. Doesn't want pass-through, proceeds to bash his head into the last direction. It was rough. It's never my head, it's my hand. Oh, you did say hand. I said desk. Yeah, it's always my hand. Listen, it was rough. That one time actually hurt. It's not. But that's not the problem. It's. I need space. I don't have a big room. I'm actually debating like reformatting my whole room just so I can have like another foot of space. Nub says GRINN support built-in features being removed, deactivated to save money. Yeah, I do actually, absolutely. If it means that like a product is $1,500 opposed to $800 is what I'm prepared to spend on a VR headset, yeah, absolutely. Especially when I know I'm not going to use those features. I have no interest in pass-through until we get a better battery life. Yeah. Like I would like, to me, you put on the headset and then you would just see like floating projections on your wall. Why do I need to see my wall? Let me just put me in a 3D space like a lake or Mars or something. You know, I don't get the pass-through thing as much. I get it when you're like moving about your space. Fuck, people may call you a weirdo, but yeah, this is crazy. This game is nuts. Pokemon with guns, basically. Fluff says, what we thought is that it's a complete waste of money. Prawn couldn't save Blizzard from Overwatch twice. I would say, what do you call it? Prawn did a lot for Overwatch, thank you very much. And also, Blizzard was the one that was hellbent on that game dying. Nub says, of course they'd film their kid, especially during the conception. Never. It took a while for it to sink, but I got it. Fluff says, you can do that without paying $300 for a glorified paperweight. Yeah, no. My whole thing that I wanted to point out, no one at all is justifying the price at all. But the idea that they haven't, the crazy expensive device hasn't in some ways enabled things like having, like, again, I think maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think I'm going to be able to see the experiences. Like I could imagine a person filming something in their weird Apple headset and then them uploading that video, because you can do the same thing with your Apple phone. You can upload your video to YouTube or something else, and then you can experience that type of thing. That's a massive boon for just content for VR in this space. That's awesome. There's also, they're building out software and whatnot for those things. That's awesome. So VR is going to make more money. If they sell a decent amount of these, now there's actually a reason for developers to develop a game for this, because there's enough units in the world space to validate an actual AAA experience in this. Like, I don't see this as being bad. Would it have been great if there was two versions, one that was actually buyable and then the other one that was for fucking ludicrous nonsense? Sure. But I don't think they want to do that yet. I think they want to make it so that they can build out the infrastructure first and then follow it up with something. The closest I'd pay that much for it is for an invisible computer. Oh, my chat's getting away from me because I'm taking too long to talk. I'm sorry. Nub says that shit looks so fucking cool. Sony already has VS VR 2 and their Project Q, which is a Sony Wii U. It's not designed for a common consumer. It's for those with disposable income. I know, I agree with all that. I do think it's going to be, again, I think it starts that way though. In the same way that, like, I remember the iPhone being hella expensive and all these things. Nub says, let's be honest, Meta's just goofy. I agree. Meta to me is the worst at selling excitement, which is, I think, not only that, but Apple's pretty decent about showing, like, again, if you were to just take away everything Apple about it, because a lot of people have like a vendetta against Apple, but if you take away all of Apple, whatever, and you just focus on what they did, take away the price, take away everything, what they did, they showed people the ways in which this could be used. Meta has never done that. The best thing Meta has done is like put on this headset and you're at your office working on something. They didn't show you like moving around. Like, Apple knows how to sell something and make it like exciting. You're never going to use it in any of those ways. You're going to use it the exact way Meta's shown you. You're going to be sitting in your fucking chair looking at a wall for 20 hours with this screen 2 feet away from your face. But it doesn't matter because it's selling you the potential and excitement of what could exist. And the excitement to me is one of the things that becomes more and more apparent after every showcase that I see that's not exciting. That's something that's desperately needed. It's funny because I think there used to be a problem of overly selling excitement at the detriment of what the actual game is. But now I feel like we're way in the other direction where every game is just like a shitty, it's the same problem, but it's like without the excitement. It's like we still get CGI trailers, but without the gameplay showcases that made it fun. I look forward to us discussing the flop that'll be the Apple VR next year. I mean, hey, I'll eat my words. Again, you guys could be dead ass right that this could be a flop, but I think people have actually shown like what Apple has genuinely backed. There's a couple examples of like headphones and shit that they've used that are super niche weird things, but I don't think I've ever seen Apple's like 10-pole things like their iPhones, their computers and shit that actually don't make billions of dollars. But I could be wrong. By the way, I do not love Apple, by the way. But I'm excited for what this could do to the VR space and build it out and etc. Facebook Meta is heavily out of touch, says Fluff. The actual tech is good for most wireless VR options, but they burned and buried Oculus from being a pioneer. I agree. I like I look forward to or completely forgetting. Yeah, it could be that. Again, I don't disagree that this could be just a complete wash. I do think the tech looked awesome. I do think if it wasn't made by Apple and it wasn't expensive like that, I'd be fucking juiced. I am excited because I think in a year or two, like technology and everything's moving so fast with AI and everything else in between, that to me I'm excited for what the future could be because I think it's impossible to predict at this point. Nub says, Grin sounds like someone who hasn't bought an Apple product. I inherit iPhones from my parents who buy them, so I benefit in some way. But yeah, they make it seem like it's the thing on its own. Nub says they're $1 billion because they only need to sell 1% of others sell to make for their money. How expensive their share is. I mean, you say that, but yet the majority phone that people have around the world is still the phone. So it's not even like 1%. I think it's 90% of what people have in terms of phones are iPhones. I do think there's a argument to where the what do you call it? Their laptops have started to die down severely in terms of sales. But then I think if you look at that, I think iPads have just skyrocketed. Because again, people want the convenience rather than the complexity of a computer. Fluff, you're going to make him think you're calling him no, I'm good. Again, what do you call it? I'm totally prepared for me being dead ass wrong on this, but I'd rather be excited for what this could mean for the future of VR. You know what I mean? I could be a cynic and be like this and that. I don't agree with people mindlessly shitting on some things. The weird eyes look weird, look severely uncanny valley. The weird 3D model of your face looks odd. I prefer it opposed to Meta's weird, Wii U emoji characters. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for what this could be, and I'd rather be excited than cynical about it's Apple, they're monsters, I hate them, etc. To be fair, you had to pay more to buy any Apple product. Let me catch up. The YouTube keeps pulling my thing down because I think people are commenting more. I'm not saying it'll be a replacement for... Where is it? Fluff says, I'm not saying it'll be a replacement by a competition. I mean, Apple will reveal the next iteration of it a year or two later, over and over. No, I don't. I agree with that. I agree, but I do think that a year and a half from now, I think that's when they're going to release the non-pro version. I think. Unless people massively adopt it, which could definitely happen. Again, all I think it takes, people already overspend on it. Again, this is one thing people are considering. Most people overspend on their iPhones. Most people overspend on their MacBook Pros. This is not uncanny for people to overspend for a product that is not necessarily worth that. What makes people buy? People being excited and seeing clips of people using it, seeing content that they could experience with it. Again, do I think it's valuable? Do I think people should do that? Probably not. Absolutely not. It's a lot of money. But I think we might see it sooner if it massively succeeds. Yeah, and if it massively succeeds, that's even more worrying because, like Nub's saying, if it massively succeeds, that might mean they don't even drop the price, which is a little shitty. But again, I have faith that eventually, Google and what do you call it, Samsung will want to compete. Fuck me, dude. A lot of Samsung became a lot better because Apple was dominating so hard. And in order to validate you being stepped out of the Apple community basically without FaceTime and all this other shit, then as Samsung and all these other phone companies, not just Samsung, but all these other phone companies had to really fucking bring it. And competition being good, essentially, the idea being that. I had to use Mac in school because they were cheap option in terms of quality. They don't know how to make proper computer. Love says Apple has a superb marketing place and their competitors often doesn't. Nub says, actually, wait, I do think there's one company worse than Apple. If my choice was Apple or Samsung, I'd pick Apple. Oh, really? Wow. Shit. You really didn't grow up around people that would replace their iPhones annually because it wasn't made to last. Oh no, I grew up with those people, but it never was because they didn't last. It was because people wanted the next new features. Everyone I've always seen with the Apple thing, it wasn't because their phone broke. It was because they wanted all the new features that weren't even that great. And at that point, it's you being convinced It's almost like me being like, how dare you enjoy this anime or this movie? It's like, I don't know, if you're interested in the features that much, it's your money. I think it's silly, but that doesn't mean that you're not okay to spend it, you know? Nub says, when they removed the phone jack and the price also jacked up, I call you yeah, no, again, I'm not saying I'm a fan of Apple in any way. Not enough people would boycott Steam just because of an expensive product. Well, again, it's the same thing as Genshin's issue. When you're making billions of dollars in Apple, or like the reason why Genshin never made a lot of changes is, this is the thought, is because when you're making billions of dollars, you're content with making billions of dollars because that's excessive. If you just maintain $1 billion, then you can try shit 2 years from now. Same thing is what, this is the reason why people said that, why the hell didn't Valve make a successor to one of their most famous games ever, Half-Life? And then people say, well, the reason why is because if it didn't live up to the expectations, that could indirectly affect, even in a small way, if you affect $1 billion of profit in a small way, like 1%, that's still a fuck ton of money you're not getting in anymore from people being upset. Now, is that valid? Is it actually, are people going to actually boycott? No, but the fear of even a small percentage of people being upset and not buying into your thing is worse than the idea of changing. Or like, sorry, changing is more of a financial loss than just maintaining what you're already doing, and you're making so much money already that why would you change? I understand the fear, and I understand people would just be like, well, why wouldn't I just not change for as long as I have to, make as much money in this way that's already making too much money, and then try some new shit eventually, which is exactly what Apple kind of did with the VR headset and even Half-Life Alyx, because what do you call it? Half-Life Alyx being restricted to the specific format and not having Gordon Freeman as the main character took away all the expectations of what it could, of people being frustrated by it. If you look at the formula of how Half-Life Alyx came to be, it makes so much sense for them defanging the kind of expectations of what the sequel was going to have, and while simultaneously like lifting them up in a slight way as well with the ending of Half-Life Alyx. It's basically boycotts Steam by piracy because the game is Canada game price. Yeah, dude, the Canada game price is getting nutty. It's fucking $90, almost $100 for a video game. Brutal. Fluff says, you also an unashamed pirate. The game prices are getting insane at this point. I know, that's why Game Pass to me is like, it's just becoming like, it's almost like Microsoft sitting there like, yeah bitches, like I knew this was coming. I love how you added unashamed. I have yet to truly feel ashamed in my whole life. That's good. It's a good thing. Fluff says, you didn't need raise prices to incentivize that habit. Don't need to have history of pandering to a company to start at any given moment. Everyone has a price. Radiant says, definitely wasn't expecting a stream at this time. Sorry, Raid, it was the game showcase, the Summer Game Fest, so we had to get in and watch it. Can we have a can anyone look up what the time for the Microsoft, the next event, which I believe is the Microsoft event happening on Sunday, is it? I think it's Sunday. The next big game showcase. If it's not Xbox, then tell me, because then we'll do that one too. As long as it's not like an indie game kind of thing. So that'd be a lot to do if we're doing all the indie game showcases as well. But I think we'll do the main ones, so Microsoft and Ubisoft. I think there's another one that I'm not sure if we'll cover, but yeah. What time does Xboxes start? Because I'll let you guys know right now so that we can have that. And yeah. Fluff says, anyways, I can't linger long as I have a shift tonight, and sleep pattern was already off due to passing out till 8 this morning. Oh no, good. Sleep well, Fluff. Thank you for stopping by. Always love hearing from you. Lone says, I'm sure an everyday person is still gonna buy. Yeah, dude, that's that's my thought as well, Lone. People are like, it's $300, and I'm like, people still buy iPhones every year, and they find a way to budget it. So I don't know. I could see Apple running some sort of like special thing, and also I could see them being in like every Apple store as a test product, because I think based on what everyone who has tried it has said, they say it's like magic, which could just be like PR speak. But even these people who are like known for shitting on Apple products as well, they say the same thing, where it's so somehow well crafted. Now maybe that's just like the hyper done end product that they made. Maybe. But I could see them basically, if the experience is that impressive, I could see people basically that being in every like Best Buy kind of thing as a test, just so people could experience it and be like, I think people will just be incapable of buying it. But I also, again, with that being said though, like Lone has mentioned, people find a way to buy Apple products every year. So, and they're like just normal people, it seems like. Nub says, wait, what game is this? Which one? Damn it. Oh, that was a far. That was that Pokemon game, I think. The one that was Pokemon with guns. It was surprising for sure. Raid says, wait, are Thursday streams timed at 3? No. Normally, Raid, most streams are for Thursday are 5 p.m. But because this whole week is the Xbox gaming, the game showcase, we just had Summer Game Fest. We had some games released, trailers and stuff like that. On Sunday, I believe we have Xboxes, and then Monday, I believe we have Ubisoft's. And I want to stream all of those. So we'll be streaming whenever those games are going, with maybe the exception of if they're at like 9 p.m. at night. And even then I probably would still stream them, even though I think no one would be here because yeah. Fluff says, it was already Summer Game Fest, started around 12 p.m. PST. Nub says, okay, Pokemon with guns is probably a game I'd buy. Yeah. It looks interesting. It looks very interesting. That shit is crazy. Fluff says, games will often either be streamed at 1 p.m. or 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yes, but unlike this week, which there's only 2 days, I think we're Sunday and Monday. Those would be the days that you should look for some weirdness about when we'll be streaming, but it'll be whenever the game conference starts, or probably 20 minutes before. And it says, oh, okay, so I'm not losing. No, you're good. You're good. Good thing you mentioned that, too, because I always should, whenever we have this kind of time change, I should make a point to say stuff like that. Fluff says, off I go. Have a good day, y'all. Thanks for stopping by, Fluff. Show people using VR for prawn, and you'll sell up to 500%. Well, I mean, that was one of the things I always thought. Also, like, that's one of the things that people always said about VR, which is like Haruda sells. Basically, Haruda will always sell predominantly, but then not a lot of stuff sells. Now, maybe some person who knows who he is heard about this magical thing, and he got a headset, and he thought, you know what, I'm at least gonna see what this is about. Okay, you get in there, you see some stuff. It's horrible. It's not it. It misses completely. It's horrible. There's no depth. It just feels like you're looking at feels like you feel uncomfortably close to shit, and it's not enjoyable in the slightest. It is horrible. Very bad. However, if they have the whole Apple thing where you can perceive depth and whatnot and all of that, that could get weird. That could get very weird very quickly. So, yeah, but who knows? To me, I'm really wanting to see how Samsung and Google clap back about this headset kind of thing, because I could guarantee you they've copied everything that Apple's done ever, and usually in my opinion a nicer somewhat way. I like Google quite a bit, especially their phone looks really nice, but yeah, but also I'm sure everyone has a hatred towards one of these companies, so I don't think I can win on who I actually think is fair. Probably no one, because it's a business, but yeah. Nub says, my brother was so excited for the Division 2 update, only to find out it's down for 36 hours. Oh no, is there a Division update? Wasn't there a game that we seen that was out as well? I can't think of what it was called. It was like, it had an update, and I was like, really? That game is still updating itself? Lone, hit me with that idea you had, buddy. You said you had an idea for me. I like it. I wanted to throw my ideas at you too, to get that beautiful mind cranking. Let me go find my Word document. Where would it be? I think it was in ideas and pre-production. My tab. Oh, my phone's telling me to eat. But ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will be playing one of the best VR games I've ever played. I think it's going to be panning out to be my favorite VR game of all time. It is amazing. I love it. It's called Battle Talent. It is so, so good. And I feel like it is such a disservice that I have not heard more about this game. It has everything that I kind of wanted from VR, and it is amazing. I hope I can show it to you guys and actually be decent at it, although I haven't gotten all the abilities or even close. But it is like the RPG madhouse that I wanted so much, and there's so many fun weapons. Like, it just makes every game look like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This game has so much shit in it. It's crazy. Anyways, Lone says, the one about the one, whatever you have, any of them that you have, throw them at me. Any ideas for the Battle Talent game that I showed you guys last stream? Please, throw them at me. Oh, my body. Oh, dude, doing VR 2 days in a row. It's like, it's just a different level of like exertion. It's like not the same as exercise at all. In fact, I wanted to tell you some of my ideas alone so that I could get your head in around what the heck I'm what I'm thinking about as well. That's so good. All right. Should I wait for Lone to tell me his, or should I start rattling off my ideas for this? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is just kind of like a brainstorming sesh at the end of the stream. Love you to bits. I don't know what game I'm heavily excited for because I have such bad recall in these moments. As much as I can understand how these games are exciting and fun for people, and I think they're gonna make for great videos, they're just not the games I play. So like I really can't wait to watch people play Mortal Kombat, but it's just not my type of game. But there was a couple games I seen there that I thought looked neat. The mage battle one looked awesome. Can't think of the other one. Damn. Lone says, so your idea for a fun, goofy video to make on the Mind Palace of Madness channel is basically one harem protagonist against 100 anime women. I think we talked about this once when we were streaming. I was like, it was one of the ideas we came up with. Lone says, so in the video, you would just, you'd be just your everyday harem protagonist armed with just trusty bonk stick. I'd have to find a weapon in either blade and sorcery or battle talent. I get, yeah, there's clubs. There's like a club mace type vibe. I could do it. It's not a very good weapon, but I think we could figure it out. Yeah, that could be fun. And of course, the formidable foe you face are members of a harem who are down bad. The issue with that, Lone, I don't think there's very many waifu characters in Battle Talent. There's not a lot of people who've made skins for like anime women. I think the best we have is like that, you know, that like Egyptian cat type thing. And it's like doing this little shimmy. Yeah, that's there, but that's it. I don't think there's a lot of waifus there, so it'd be a battle, a blade and sorcery video, which I could do, which is a good idea for that video. That could also work there. Okay, so here I actually forgot to write this one down. So give me a sec. Brutal Legends in VR. Give me a sec. Using awesome guitar melee weapon. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so that was one of my ideas. So basically, this game has so many amazing things in it. One of the things it has is like just fun things. It has a crossbow with a propellant on it, so you hit someone with a crossbow bolt and they get sent flying. There is Viking axes with hooks on the bottom of them, to where when an enemy does this and blocks, you can grab, use the hook underneath the battle axe, pull their weapon down, and cleave their head clean off. It is so rad. You can like trap an enemy up. There's like these hook weapons where you can like get the weapon underneath someone's foot, pull, and like basically slash their Achilles tendon. It doesn't actually like demobilize them, but it does do a lot of damage, and it can kill them, especially if you hook it around their neck and pull down. Same thing, you can hook their weapon, crush it down to the ground, and then hit. Awesome stuff like that. There's also, again, a weapon where it's basically a guitar, like a giant guitar, where on the side of the guitar there's a giant metal battle axe, a steel thing there. When you play the guitar, it releases like these pixie nodes into the world, and then if you hit it again, it'll send them heat-seeking at enemies. It just does a lot of fucking damage. It's beautiful. So there's a bunch of those kinds of things. So let me read you guys some of the ideas I'd had, and let me see what your brain could do. So one of them, I thought there's just a lot of viability for battle talent for specific kind of mods. So for instance, people have made Puss in Boots basically in that game. So I thought, okay, wouldn't it be awesome, a video, especially with Puss in Boots, that after the movie, everyone's a big fan of that show, and I understand why it looks awesome, the movie. So it'd be cool to see how hard is it to beat this little cat that I'm assuming is going to be giga powerful because of the movie and all those things. Having a tiny little rapier and fighting this little cat, I think would be a very fun thumbnail, very fun video, especially if you amp it up with some goofy fun editing. That could be a ton of fun. If I also use this giant steel axe or something against this little cat. So I think that could be a fun video, kind of like a you versus an iconic character, Puss in Boots. It could also be Predator versus this in VR. Could be fun. I've seen that video kind of around in some ways too, so it's not entirely original. What was the other one I had? So one of the other things I seen in this game, this is one of the best like battle simulation games while still being fun in VR. So I think it'd be really cool to do like a flawless run, a zero damage run, playing on hard mode kind of run, because the combat is tough. Like, I'm going to show you guys it probably tomorrow, but there's some boss fights that are genuinely like, you have very little opening, you only can basically thrust an attack. It's insane. And yeah. Let me see. I'm just going to keep throwing ideas at you guys and see what you guys think. Let's see. This one I thought would be cool because the game handles the like RPGification of like a VR dungeon crawler so well, to where like you can, we talked about it last stream, but like you can grab someone's head, like a goblin's head, and just tear it off if you're a warrior and you're strong enough. You can also break someone's neck. So if you're a rogue and you want to like dash towards them, grab them in the neck and then break their neck really quick and run away, you can. There's magic and wizard powers. So I thought it'd be really cool to do like a video series of like the most brutal RPG in VR is one of the things I wanted to make a video of. The best mage in VR, because some of the magic is dope as hell. The best rogue I've ever played in any game ever, because you can actually like pick up enemies' weapons and like crank it into a crossbow bolt, shoot them with it, stuff like that. So I think that could be a fun video of showing like the MMO builds of like rogue, Viking, these kind of iconic RPG like classes, and showing like the best version of them in a fun video, not necessarily like a battle combat thing. I see some videos out there for like they're like 3 minutes and it's just a person tearing shit up. Don't want to really do that. I want to kind of have fun with it still. So I want to make it kind of personable, hopefully. Lone's idea, which I thought would be such a good title, would be beating a goblin with a smaller goblin. Be an amazing title for a video, I thought. And that's something you can do in the game. So that could be a fun video we could do for that game too. Let's see, what did I come up with this? Can kill, beat goblin. How many goblins? Oh, right. So yeah, this is like this is the opposite of fighting like iconic characters, but it's kind of imitating an iconic character. So if there's like an amazing katana in the game, which I'm certain there is, then I could do Kill Bill versus a goblin or something weird, something odd enough that I think people would be interested to click on. Same thing as Wolverine. If there's Wolverine claws, Wolverine versus an orc, I think could be kind of a neat, interesting title that people could be curious about. A mage in a modern world, because I think there's guns in the game and stuff like that. What other thing that I think of? Yeah, I think that was a bunch of the kind of like tentpole titles I kind of thought of. Yeah. Nub says, I'm a dip out as well. Good night. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for stopping by, Nub. Hope I can see you again. Lalone says, hey, oh, also, there was another idea I wanted to run by you guys. I think it'd be really, really fun and like kind of a neat viral-esque video, maybe. Not viral, I don't mean to say that in that way, but I think it could be like intriguing to most people. And it would be to play games that are super strenuous in VR with basically weight pads on, like wrist weights and leg weights and maybe even chest weights. The issue is that I gotta actually buy $80 worth of wrist weights and leg weights. But I think it would be cool, like doing Beat Saber with wrist weights. We could do a stream of that. I could edit it down. We could have fun. Every now and again, I could switch over and like click my camera, and you guys could see how sweaty and gross I am, etc. That could be a fun idea that we could edit down into a video that could be fun. And by the way, Battle Talent is the most exertive game I've ever played, and it's not even close. Every time I play this game, I am thrashed afterwards. If you want to lose weight, I think this is the best game to play, and it's not even close. I'm talking about Beat Saber, all these other workout games. It's just so much. And you'll see why when we were actually playing. It's a lot of like quick dodging and then trying to do thrusts. And it's like combat engagement after combat engagement. It's just like a non-stop, essentially. And there's so many different types of enemies. Yeah. And of course, the formidable foe you face are members of the harem who are down bad. Yeah, I feel like that. I love the idea alone. The only thing I find it would be hard is how would I give like I'd have to find like an AI thing to simulate female voices to then do that. You know, if I were to like, oh, look at the protagonist. Like, I can't make a female voice really well, and it would just sound jarring, and it would be cringe to me. so it'd be a hard thing to do. I do like the idea of like fighting clearly, how do I put it? Like very attractive-esque characters that were meant to basically be harada, like really provocative, we'll say. Characters in modded form, and basically like you playing the person that's like, I promised I wouldn't do this or something. I promise I will stay a virgin forever. No, thank you, disgusting woman, etc. And then for the culmination at the end of the video to be the realization that the guy's like, maybe I'm gay. Maybe it's not the world, but I'm just different. Actually, that could be fun. But giving them voices and whatnot, that'd be a lot. Now, I feel like it'd be a lot of work, and also I feel like I'm not sure. I don't know. It'd be two things clashing, like the voices of the heroines trying to go after the protagonist, and then also the goofy, fun commentary potentially from the insert protagonist person who's RPing that. Lone says, hey, this is just an idea. We can wait for the execution to when the time is right. Yeah, it's true. We'll see. Also, you can edit in some dialogue for the women, voice lines to make it more real and meme-worthy. Yeah, I don't know where I'd find those voice lines. If I would, I'd feel a little... If they're from a Genshin or like a video game, I'd feel better about it. But if it was like some like voice actor, because there's a lot of like... I remember I seen once, and like a person who did like a challenge thing. You spin a wheel, and then he landed on like ASMR traps, essentially, or whatever it is. Like this version of ASMR where like these girls are pretending to be like yandere, but like your girlfriend, and it's this weird thing. But he had to listen to that, and I feel weird finding those, which probably would fit the best. But I also feel weird about grabbing their content in that way. Also, you should edit or keep in mind. I only know the basics of editing videos, so not sure how easy or hard it would be. It's less hard. It's more of what the end product will be. Like, I think if I was giving the female whatever harem things, I'd feel like it'd be not charming cringe. It'd be jarring cringe, not necessarily evil or like completely destructive, but it would be off-putting enough. I don't know if it would add to the humor of it all. But I do think if I were able to get like actual voices for that, I just don't know if it would enhance the it depends on what the video is, like what the story is the story about how like a very quiet protagonist is being like rushed by anime protagonists and then having to beat the hell out of them, and they're bleeding and their face is bloody, whilst they're speaking at you, I feel like that'd be a little bit more on the morbid side than it would be on the comedy side. Whereas if you had these silent whammon bull rushing this main character whilst he's ferociously trying to protect his virginity for whatever reason, that could be more on the comedy angle. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think it'd be fun, and at the very least, like, goofy. Like, I think your head's in the right place for that. But I think that'd be the spin on it that I need to take. Otherwise, I even feel bad in Blade and Sorcery when I'm like hitting women, and it feels shockingly, it feels horrible. Yeah. I'm not quite Kazuma. Okay, I can't quite be like the equal opportunist, right? I feel a way about it. Alone says, "Hey, that was my idea to beat an enemy." Yeah, that was exactly why I wrote it down, because I thought it'd be a really good title. I do think I'll have to think of how I could make that content, you know, like after the first 10 minutes of me beating an enemy with another enemy, what do you do after that? You know, perhaps maybe beat more enemies with other enemies as well. We'll see. Maybe it's just a quick 7-minute video of you just getting hyper weird and creepy and just being like, blood, viscera, Lone says, I'm just glad I got to share the idea. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. I'll definitely write it down. I'm not sure when we'll be able to execute it, because there's already a lot of ideas I kind of want to jump on. Because one thing that's evident, Lone, this game is so good, and yet it doesn't have nearly as much people talking about it. Like, it does so many things so well that it almost feels an injustice for me to do that, to not cover it. But also, it has 1,000 mods in the game right now. So to me, it also feels like there's clearly a dedicated group of people who love the game and are interested in it and know how good it is. So if I could be the person that could kind of make videos that are about the game but also general enough to where it could reach outside of the game itself, into maybe Blade and Sorcery, into maybe Bone Lab, and show and yeah, basically pull people to that other thing, that could be pretty nice. You know, I think that'd be a nice thing to do for the community, to try to grow the actual community and not just yourself. But yeah. Also, I would love to give credit to all of the amazing modders over there, because it doesn't look like a lot of people are giving them their applause, which they definitely deserve, because the mods are great. Lone says, cause I had that idea cooking in the oven. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the stream. Tomorrow we will be playing the game that we just talked about. Thank you for letting me. Thank you for brainstorming with me and hearing my ideas out. Hopefully some of them are interesting. Execution matters a lot. By the way, there'll be a video probably right as I end the stream. I'll be working on the thumbnail. Actually, no, I'll upload it as soon as we're done with the stream. It is a video that I'm actually curious how it will do. It's on the Share GRINN channel. It's an anime video, so if you're not into anime, don't watch that video. You can ignore it. But it's a video that I wanted to kind of get your guys' take on it, because it's very different from what we normally do. The video is more of like, I love storytelling. It's one of the few things I think I'm okay at. Like, I have a natural proclivity to want to make everything a story. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I like it a lot. And I made that video to kind of share the experience of what the experiencing something was. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's definitely a different type of video. It's still kind of us just shooting the shit about anime, but it's more of like a script almost. Like, I wrote down a story and I'm reading it so that we keep pace, I guess. Also, be ready for the stream on I'll probably try to tell you guys on Saturday, because I believe Saturday will be the day that the next day we're gonna be streaming Xbox's conference. Unless I'm messing up the time zones, be water with me this week, buddy, because I gotta think of some stuff, like how it's all gonna look, because I don't have the things in front of me, the times when everything starts. But we will be covering the game conferences predominantly this week. I don't think that will ruin tomorrow's stream or Saturday's stream, so those probably will be business as usual. Tomorrow's stream will be VR, though, just to give you a heads up. It'll be that battle talent that I talked to you guys about. Thank you kindly for your time. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll upload the anime video today. I thought today was Friday, but it's Thursday. I'll still upload it. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye, my friends.